Barca.
I'm going to show them actually. They can't read that. It reads me without twin. Welcome back, guys, to the Don't Blend In podcast. I'm your host, Derrick, my co host.
Tomas.
Have you been?
I've been good this week. Not gonna lie.
Me too. We got some books.
Yeah, I bought those books.
Yeah,
right
he was
here.
at the Barnes and Nobles, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking of installing a little bookshelf right here and put a bunch of books, mainly art books, that kind of stuff.
Might look super good. We
Looks
were
super
actually
clean.
conversing about some of that stuff this weekend. This week, sorry. Weekend's coming up. About some books.
Yeah.
Some grails.
Derrick saw the Virgil Abloh,
Grail.
which
If
I
you
think
know, you know.
I think we will be talking about Virgil Abloh today because of the topic.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
Do you want to introduce the topic?
Absolutely. I better get there. Listen, we'll be talking about, it's going to be a real personal episode.
Okay, yeah, 100.
We're going to be talking about, of course, art, but just in our childhood, how it kind of molded us, how we were, originally exposed to it, and how we kind of navigated the world, creatively, not creatively, opinions on it, kind of the whole nine. And how we got to here wearing Bad Sun. Shout out Bad Sun, by the way. We talked about them so much
My
last
pants
episode.
arrived. By the way, the ones that I showed y'all last episode, they arrived today.
Yep, I
they're
got
nice.
mine on
I
right
love
now,
them.
which y'all cannot see. They're fantastic. But yeah, man, you got anything you want to start off with? Any last things you want to mention?
I do have a question I want to start this topic with.
Okay.
But real quick, I just want to point out, Derek's not wearing a hat. He got a fresh cut. Huge lag right there, but he got a fresh cut.
Well, fresh was a couple days ago. I think when what was it? Man, I don't know. It was like 4 days ago. But fresh enough.
Fresh enough.
Fresh enough. I listen. I love hats, but goddamn,
You wanted to show off a little bit.
I like my hair, man. I mean, I know y'all didn't know. I used to have some real long hair
Real nice curls.
back in May. Real long hair.
You had
7
like
years.
the Roman Reigns type hair.
And I cut it. And I like this life, man. I like this life. Anyways, though.
All right, so I'd like to start this topic with a question that I'm going to pose to you, and then I'm also going to answer myself afterwards.
Okay.
So, on the theme of childhood art, what was the first time in your life you consumed a piece of art, any kind? I don't really care what type of art, and you knew it was art. Like, you weren't just watching a cartoon and you were enjoying it and that's it. Like, you actually saw this and you were like, someone made this. Someone expressed themselves through this, and it's beautiful.
You know what? It would definitely be a cartoon, but
Okay, yeah,
a little bit later.
100%.
Because I can't remember. I can't really tell you the first time, but I do remember. Because I would watch like, and we were born in '06, but like
Both of us, 06 babies.
yeah, we were born in '06, but we watched a lot of the golden age cartoons, but
90s,
also
2000s, yeah.
So like I watched a lot of Pink Panther and like
Johnny Bravo.
yeah, Looney Tunes, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I didn't realize it while I was watching. Obviously, you're just watching a cartoon. But a little bit later, when I started reading the Cat in the Hat books, I'd have to say,
okay.
and like I think that was elementary. I don't think I was in middle school yet. But yeah, when I started reading the Cat in the Hat, because I watched the Cat in the Hat cartoon, love that show.
Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that.
Yeah.
Ball knowledge.
Bro, that shit was fire, bro. But it wasn't until I read the books.
Okay.
Love the books, by the way. To this day, I love his artwork. Wasn't until I read that I was like, oh man, like I like this a lot. Like not only like it's supposed to be children's books, like the rhymes and whatever, cool, but the actual visuals, I was like, yo, nah, this is like amazing.
It's a very specific art style.
Yeah.
Also, the messages Dr. Seuss would implement into his art was amazing. Like the one, I forget what it's called, but it's a story with the people that have the stars on their bellies and the other ones don't.
Yeah.
That was like such a good way to teach kids about like.
Amazing story.
It's an amazing story about like teaching kids like, hey, just because people look different doesn't mean they're worse than you.
Yeah, or you treat them different.
You treat them different.
Yeah.
Like these people did treat each other different, and it ended up going badly for them, and then eventually they came together. Cat in the Hat was a good way to teach kids, like, hey, if you're gonna, at least what I got from it growing up, if you're gonna like play and do stuff as a kid that might mess up your house and all that kind of stuff, Make sure to always clean up afterwards.
Yeah, you gotta be responsible
Cat in the
and
Hat, he
aware.
cleaned that shit up immediately. Immediately. So
It was tough.
it's great messaging, great art.
Amazing art. It's funny. It wasn't until because I kind of just stuck there, like it stopped there for me with Cat in the Hat. I always loved the art, but it wasn't until I was at I don't know if it was I think it was Universal, and there was like a cartoony area, and I'm chilling. This was like all the way in high school, by the way.
I was gonna bring this up.
So
Yeah.
where it's me and my family, and we're in one of the stores in there, and the register, the counter, whatever, blah blah. Behind that, there's a painting, and it's a Cat in the Hat painting.
Okay.
I forget a Dr. Seuss painting. Sorry. Um, and it's a very clear, which it kind of like shocked me a little that like at a theme park they had this, but it was historic, and it was a World War II painting.
What?
Yeah, the character looked
Do you know
reminiscent
which
of
ride the store was?
no,
Was it
no, but
in?
it's a popular, very very expensive painting. I looked it up after.
Was it in the Dr. Seuss land or cartoon land?
Dr. Seuss land, I'm
Okay, I
pretty
just gotta
sure.
make sure.
Yeah. So I was in there and I was talking to my grandma. I was like, man, I want, I bet that costs stupid cash, which I looked it up. It does. It costs a stupid amount of money. But I was like, man, I love that. It looks amazing. So it was kind of weird and interesting how
Mhm.
like something that I watched so long ago kind of caught it to me, and I like realized I looked at it in a whole different light. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
so much later in life.
So
That was
did
dope.
did you know that? Well, also before I even say that, I just want to say Dr. Seuss is so important here in America. Like, I don't know if you know this because I don't know if you've seen the analytics of our channel. We actually have some viewers in Australia.
Oh yeah.
So maybe like the viewers who aren't living in America don't know this, but in America we actually have a Dr. Seuss day in
Yeah.
school and stuff like that. Like he's really important
Yeah,
here.
he did a lot of political stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I just think like maybe his impact isn't as known worldwide, but like he's
That's a
important.
good question, actually. If worldwide, like how well he's known, I've never really thought
I
about
think
that.
he's well
Never.
known, but he maybe isn't like taught in schools like he is here. Here they when you're in first grade, like second grade, they teach you about Dr. Seuss. You have a Dr.
Yeah.
Seuss day. I don't know if every school did this, but you go to breakfast, they got green eggs and ham.
Oh my God, my class did that. My
Every bro,
class
every
did
school. I
that,
went to St. Elementary.
bro.
Come on, man. But green
Bet.
eggs and ham. You would sit down. The teacher would read everyone like the different Dr. Seuss books, and it'd really be like analyzing them. It's kind of like the little kid version of an English class in college,
Yeah.
where they would
Yeah.
like you'd read Dr. Seuss, and they'd be like, "What did you get from this? What's the messaging? What's the ideas?" And it's like, "Oh, okay,
Hey, bro.
I'm
All I got is
I'm getting that."
he's the goat.
He's like, "Oh, I agree with that."
Goated.
So
Goated.
I'm glad you brought up Universal though, because the audience doesn't know this. I don't think anyone knows except for us. When the first episode dropped, I was actually in Universal,
Oh
and I
yeah.
posted it from my hotel room.
Hotel room.
Yeah, bro. But that same day, I was actually on the Cat in the Hat ride
Oh, for
because
real?
the Cat in the Hat ride is like it's very. For those who don't know me, I'm scared of roller coasters. It's a real like I'm not scared of a lot of things in life because I don't know. I like spiders. Like I like things that people are usually scared of, right? But for some reason, I have the most random fear of just roller coasters. It's nothing to do with heights. I'm not really scared of heights. I can ride any like water slide that's like tall as shit. Anything.
Yeah.
It's just very very specifically roller coasters. So on Universal, there's a few rides I can't ride, right?
Naturally. Yeah.
And I remember I was like, kind of the hat ride. That one's like really light work. I'll ride that one. It's not really like a roller coaster. So I got on it, and me and my girl we were gonna sit in the front seats, but we were like, there was a little girl who was gonna sit behind us because it's the way the carts are. It's people in front, people in back. It's not like four
Yeah.
rows. It's just two rows.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we're not gonna let the little girl sit in the back when it's a ride for kids. We're just doing it to like waste time basically.
Hmm.
So we offered the dad, and the dad was like, "Oh, that's great." Asked his daughter. His daughter freaked out. She's like, "No, not in the front, not in the front." And so we were like, "Okay, the ride isn't even scary. Whatever, it's cool." And then when we got on the ride, my girl forgot the certain part of the ride when the part. I don't know how it was last time you went to Universal was, but there's a part when the bed slides, and it's like a little jump scare. No one gets scared by that, right? She
Except.
screamed. She screamed. She was like, "Ah!" I was like, no. But yeah, and then afterwards we were like, maybe the girl was right. Maybe the girl was right to be scared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Dr. Seuss Land is just, it's a really nice place in Universal.
Yeah.
The stores are nice. I actually bought a shirt there.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's not like a crazy shirt. It's like,
But yeah, I mean, yeah, to be
yeah,
expected.
it's really like it's a really nice place. They have a great like little bakery in there. I bought one of those
I,
big donuts that are this big.
bro, the
Yeah,
bakery's so good,
yeah, like
bro.
Dr. Seuss Land is really
Yeah, I think
where
about
it's
that
at.
up because it'd be so many like my favorite spot has to be Cartoon World. I don't know if that's in Universal or
No, no,
is it
no.
on the
Hold on,
Adventure or
hold on, hold on.
something?
It's Islands of Adventure, but no, bro, you don't even know. You haven't been to the new park. Epic.
Bro, I went there before
You went
it
to
opened.
Epic?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Yes.
start off with the fact that Epic kind of sucks. Because everything is always closed. Bro, it's been out for a year and everything is still like delayed. There was like 4 rides that were closed, and the park
Damn,
has like
it
8
hasn't been
rides.
out for a year.
It's been out for a year, no?
Nah.
Well, everything when I
I
went.
mean, maybe with the like
Hmm,
including the pre days because we went on one of the later pre days for like it wasn't like because it
hmm.
opened earlier for
Okay.
us.
Well, it opened earlier for us. Like when we went, we had the since we had a resort pass, we got to go
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
hour
yeah,
early.
yeah, yeah. Same,
But
same,
everything
same.
is closed
Yeah,
in Epic.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
6 months minimum later, everything is still closed. The rides are all delayed to hell. It's not
Yeah.
good. But
But when you do
but
get to do stuff,
the actual area, forget the rides. Mario World?
oh, fire,
Oh, yeah,
fire.
bro. Like you
Nah, but
just can't
I'm not
compete.
counting that in Universal
That's
though.
Universal. That's
I'm
Universal.
not counting that,
You
bro.
can't
Epic is
compete
like
with
a
Mario.
whole different
You can't
thing,
compete with
bro.
Mario. Like the top three are all Epic areas because Epic is just the best looking areas.
I mean, oh yeah,
Mario
absolutely.
#1, Isle of Berk #2,
That's the
and
scary place.
no, Isle of Berk is How to Train Your Dragon,
I'm
and the
tripping.
third
I'm
one
tripping.
is
I'm
a
tripping.
scary place. What's it
No,
called?
the How to Train Your Dragon
It's
was
called
dope.
Dark World or something like that.
I forgot.
Dark
That's where
Universe.
I bought a hat from there.
That's
I got a hat
my
there.
new favorite ride at Universal, by the way, the Frankenstein one.
That was pretty good.
I
It
love
was
that
pretty
ride
good.
because I do
It was well done.
because again I don't do roller coasters, but I love the simulators like the Hogwarts.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
So
okay.
it's one of the few rides that's like actually fun that I can enjoy doing. But let's get off Universal. Let's get back on the topic. So for you, Dr. Seuss was really like formative, really open your eyes to art. You would say
It was definitely the start. It was
it was
definitely
the start.
one of the starts because
Okay,
then after that, I looked at cartoons. Like I still watch cartoons like a kid, obviously. Like I was in elementary, but
but you
like
had a
I
different
started,
perspective of them.
yeah, I
Okay,
started looking at them a little different, a little
okay.
different. Yeah, which is kind of what kind of opened that little avenue for me to just get right up in there. It's like okay, I like cartoons for a different reason now because that also changed kind of how I looked at the older cartoons that I watched as well. You
You
know
would
what I
like
mean?
watch the reruns as a kid, and you were like seeing them at a different light now. You were
A
understanding
little
the
bit, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
all cartoons are actually a really good example of art. I mean, animation, storyboarding.
yeah.
Like it's just really good example of it. Actually, my example for the first time that something really caught my eye as art is actually also a cartoon. It's Transformers.
Okay,
I'll tell you why.
I
So
wasn't expecting
I
that.
watched the 80s, 90s, like the original Transformers cartoon growing up.
Mm.
And I watched it and it was just like any other cartoon. It was really cool, but it was just like any other cartoon, right? And then I would go to the store, right? Because again, '06. We're born in '06. So I'd go to the store to buy like little toys for them, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But the
yeah, yeah.
toys would never look like the Transformers that I was watching. Because I was
Right.
watching the OG and the toys were for the newer ones.
Okay.
And I was like, how are these two different? But this is Megatron, but this isn't the Megatron that I know. What's going on here? So I went and watched one of the newer Transformers. I watched Transformers Prime.
Hmm.
And it kind of like the idea clicked in my head that it was the same IP, but it was made by different people.
Okay.
And it was different vibes. Like the original was much more like how do I explain this? Like much more 80s, like real like
Yeah.
flamboyant, like
Yeah.
crazy, that kind of stuff, like space, all that. Meanwhile, Prime was like they were fighting and shit, like it was crazy, like that kind of stuff. It was
Yeah.
two very different vibes, two very different aesthetics, and that really gave me this idea of like these are made by two different people, and both of them had their own take on what Transformers was. And both of
Oh,
them are
okay.
fire. And that's when I started seeing cartoons, which I don't know if you see it the same way, but I started seeing cartoons from the angle of someone made this. And that made me have a lot of respect for the people that made cartoons. I think that's where the idea in my head of wanting to make movies and like wanting to make TV
Oh, where that
was
came from?
originally born. It was kind
Okay.
of like you have stuff like Transformers, you have stuff like Superman, like Batman, where there's so many different adaptations, and each one of them is made by different people and they have a completely different point of view of what the character is.
That's so interesting. That's interesting, like
Mm,
to see where it tapped
yeah.
with you. Because looking back, for me, I didn't think about any. I didn't think about, oh, someone made this or whatnot. I was just like, what's going on? Like I believe that a lot of because you look at like a lot of my favorite
Mm,
things that I watched coming up, like very colorful.
okay.
And I know, like, aside from this red jacket, I'm wearing all black today, guys. I'm wearing all black, besides my Sims. But I have a black tee, black jeans, like,
The
yeah,
core
yeah, yeah.
Badson jeans.
I'm, I'm,
Core
I'm, I'm,
Badson.
yeah, I'm blacked out too. I'm today. I'm,
Badson out.
yeah, I'm bad, sent out, murdered out today. But I love color.
I
Like,
love color too.
I am trying to find like the ways to make everything as colorful as humanly possible all the time. As much as I do love black, and all those natural colors and stuff like the earth tones. But that's interesting because I think for me, it more so hit on like the aesthetic that I started liking and building, right? Because then after that, like a little later, which I'm sure we'll get more into this later, but like more quote unquote like not sophisticated, but like cartoons, they're supposed to be for children typically.
That's a topic I want to get into later.
Yeah, which are,
Save that before you say anything on that,
no, yeah,
because I do
but
want to get into that later.
like Alec Monopoly,
Mm.
he literally does planes and he does all types of stuff. It's like in museums.
Should I pull up one of his art pieces so they
Dude, just
understand?
any of them. All of
Okay,
them are
yeah,
beautiful,
put up
bro.
on screen real
All of
quick.
them,
Editor Tomas, let them know.
they're beautiful. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. And so it's like there, it's like you see a lot of the consistencies with like the aesthetic that I liked when I was younger, kind of forming into, because he starts playing with different concepts and money and whatever. So it's like it's interesting to see like how you kind of interpreted that and what you thought about first. Because for me, it was just like, oh, I like how this looks.
I have a
That's a
really
big
good
reason I love
analysis.
the Dr. Seuss books so
I have
much.
a
They're
really
so
good
colorful.
analysis for this. The way we interpreted our first art piece kind of directly leads into the stuff that we do now.
Okay.
You saw the aesthetics of Dr. Seuss, and you ended up actually going into a very visual field with
Yes.
clothes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I saw the idea behind the art more than the actual visuals, and I want to be a writer. I want to do stuff that
Yeah.
like, So I think the whole idea of this episode for me at the end of the day is it's not just us, obviously. I want to talk mainly personally us,
Of course.
but the meaning behind it is that your childhood shapes you a lot, especially in your art.
Way more than we realize.
And
Like I'm
every
sure we're gonna learn something about each other and
yeah,
ourselves today.
yeah, 100%,
100%.
100%. This could be a discovery episode, not
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
you guys at home, but for
Yeah,
us.
nice little enlightenment
Nice
here.
little enlightenment. That's good. But no, I think after Transformers, I started to really. That's why I started to learn the people who made the cartoons I liked. Like again, I was very young, but we
Okay.
grew up in there with YouTube, right? So I would watch like Steven Universe, and then I would throw on a YouTube video about Steven Universe, and I
Okay.
would learn about Rebecca Sugar and then what she ended up like doing to get to Steven Universe, were her ideas for Steven like interviews. I was like 11
Like
watching
that's such an
interviews.
interesting. I didn't start doing that until way
Yeah.
later.
No, but it's because that was my very like niche autistic interest. So like I would like listen to that stuff. I would love listening to like Alex Hirsch talk about Gravity Falls,
Right.
listen to like
Goated as well.
Pendleton Ward talk about Adventure Time, which we're gonna get into so much Adventure Time in this
So much
episode.
Adventure
I
Time, bro.
love Pendleton Ward. Like JG Quintel talk about Regular Show. That's actually my favorite because he always sounds like he's high. So it's like you're listening to like a college guy just be like, I just draw cartoons, man. You can tell that because he says, okay, this is alleged, obviously. Uh, a lot of Regular Show is very, very, very loosely based on his life.
Really? I
Very,
didn't know that.
very loosely. Obviously, he wasn't fighting no demons or none of that.
Yeah,
But it
of
was very
course.
loosely based on like stories that he has from college, and you could tell that in most of the stories, the people who Mordecai and Rigby were supposed to be were high as fuck.
Had to be on like
Had to
trips,
be
bro.
they were high,
Yeah,
but
had
they,
to be
but
on
they
trips.
couldn't make
Facts.
the I don't know if you know this, but the original inspiration for Regular Show was a short film he made in college. It's called like 3 in the AM PM, where and it's Mordecai and Benson working at a gas station, like literally the bird in the gumball
Oh, like
machine.
VK. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and Mordecai gives him like a cookie, and Benson eats it. He's like, "Yeah, man." And it was an edible. So they're literally high in like the
Like
original
working
version.
at bruh.
Yeah. So the way I see it is these interviews really shaped the way I saw art and the way I saw the artist behind the art that I enjoyed.
Okay.
Even as a
Okay.
kid, and I think till now I'm still like that. Like I love learning about the artist more than just the piece. Like we talked about this last episode, maybe episode 2, where my favorite painter is Van Gogh. But
Right.
it's not just because of the stuff he painted. It was also because his life story. I care a lot about the artist behind the art.
Yeah, see, that's something that I find myself caring about a lot more when it comes to music. Like,
Mm.
and there's a couple fashion designers that I go to that extent, but usually it's music artists. You know what I mean? So it's like, for example, like if I'm gonna go to your concert and it's like I know your music, but I don't know who you are necessarily, it makes it a little tough for me to go in and like be as excited as if like that's why I love watching interviews. I watch a lot of interviews, and that's also the reason I watch a lot of those radio shows, like the hip hop radio shows and stuff. But like for example, I went to watch Dochi recently, actually,
Dochi.
this past weekend. Great show by the amazing performer.
Is that your second time watching Dochi live?
No, no,
First?
yeah, first.
Uh,
Fantastic performer, Dochi. Yeah, I rock with her heavy. But I'm just not like I haven't I mean, she's really good at putting her personality out there, but I haven't gone and seen a ton of her interviews and all that type of stuff because I'm fairly new into Dochi. Whereas someone like Drizzy, bro, it's very
yeah,
easy to understand the
yeah.
type of person that Drizzy is on a base level. You know what I mean? And Freddie Gibbs, you look at his like Freddie Gibbs in hip hop, he's known for being funny and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's something that I find myself doing in more so in music. Like a lot of the artists that I really enjoy, it's not just because of their
At
music.
what age did you start doing that? Is it like a newer thing now in your older age?
High school,
High school, like early high school.
yeah,
Uh,
like freshman, sophomore year
so
type deal. I
again,
mean,
in
at
your
the same
childhood,
time,
you were more of a visual art
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
kid.
Because at the same time, in middle school, it was also kind of difficult to not like be familiar with who they were because when we were growing up in middle school, it was like Uzi, X, like that whole
They were
generation.
the music.
Yeah, like that's who they were. So
Their
like
shenanigans were just as important to a lot of the fans
exactly.
as the music itself.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to X, you weren't just listening to X. You were listening to X, and then you were refreshing Twitter or Instagram to see
Yeah, to
what
see
was
what
going
was
on with
going
X, like
on
that kind of stuff,
exactly.
right?
So it's like
But
that's something that I was kind of already predisposed to, but it just I don't know, it just kind of helped me enjoy the music more because
okay,
you understand a little bit about especially with things like you're saying that affect you in such a way, that
mm.
actually like I've said they're the soundtrack to your life literally. It's nice to understand like things that make you feel a certain type of way, how the person was feeling or how they look at it. You know what I mean? Or just what type of person they are. How
I
you can
think
relate.
that's a good evolution because the way I see it is I started here very much like a I care about the artist behind the art. You started here very much I care about the visuals of the art.
Yeah.
And as we grew up and got older, we started to appreciate the one that the other one
Yeah,
did just as
kind of
much.
the opposite
Like I
side.
got more into clothes. Clothes is very visual. I don't care about the artist behind the art with music as much. With music, I cared a lot more about just straight music. So
Yeah.
we ended up like really, you know,
Yeah, and I'm getting into directors a little bit. I'm trying to figure out who's making these movies, and
you were a big
it's
Coogler.
interesting.
Coogler guy
Yeah,
when Sinners came out.
yeah. Ryan Coogler is
Like when Sinners came
phenomenal.
out, you barely talked about Sinners. You were like, bro, this Ryan Coogler interview, this other
No,
Ryan
because it
Coogler
was
interview, this
crazy.
other interview
Because
too.
listen, man, slight deviation here, but I'm just gonna explain to you all the
Yeah.
context there. I didn't know because Ryan Coogler already had some of my favorite movies, like Creed and all that type of
Black
stuff,
Panther,
and I
you
didn't
know,
even know. Yeah, and I didn't even know that it was him. You know what I mean? Because you look at the actor, like my favorite actor is Michael J. You know what I'm saying?
Michael
Michael B.
B.
Jordan. So then when I found out, oh, this Ryan Coogler dude's behind everything. By the way, don't crucify me. I still have yet to watch Fruitvale Station, but that's for another day. I gotta watch that one. But when I found out that he was making this, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna like it. And then I started watching, see what type of guy he is and his interviews and how he conducts himself. A lot of respect. A lot of respect comes from
A
that.
lot of respect.
A lot of respect.
Okay.
And same with the music.
Okay. But let's. I want to save Ryan Coogler more for a We're gonna do a director episode one day. We just talk straight
Absolutely.
about directors, like different.
100%.
But back to childhood in art or our childhoods involving art. I think the next step for me at least, I don't know, the next step after Transformers was actually Adventure Time. Because
Okay.
Adventure Time was when I got more into the visual.
Okay.
Because I saw Adventure Time, I'd already been watching Adventure Time, but this is what I love about Adventure Time, by the way. I started not really caring about the art itself. It was just funny cartoon, haha, right? But Adventure Time was also just a funny cartoon. It wasn't that deep.
Yeah.
But then, literally around the time that the thing with Transformers happened, I started caring more about the art. Was when Adventure Time started to shift more into being like a
Like
like
an
a
yeah,
like a deeper
yeah.
show. It was literally around the same time, so it's not like I enjoyed Adventure Time because I was a little kid, and then I expanded my knowledge and I stopped enjoying it because it was still for little kids. Adventure Time literally grew up with me,
Yeah.
and it's like a lot of the times in my early childhood to like later childhood too, like going into being a teenager, every time I started to get into something, Adventure Time would explore it. It was such a weird coincidence. Like I got into like I got really into like world building with like Star Wars and stuff like that. And then Adventure Time started to flesh its lore out a lot. And I was like, oh man, at the same
Yeah,
time,
bro.
y'all are locked in.
No, Adventure
So
Time.
it had a huge impact on me. I still love that art style that they used in Adventure Time. The I know you fuck with it heavy. Rubber hose.
My favorite like cartoon art style,
Yeah,
bro.
like
One of my favorite art styles of all time.
but genuinely Adventure Time was such like a formative show for me. Like Transformers is when I realized that I cared about the artist behind the art. But then I would watch Adventure Time and I was like, I care about the art that I'm watching. I care about the art style. I care about the story. I care about the world. And on top of that, when you listen to what Pendleton Ward, the creator of Adventure Time, did for the animation space, you're like, oh my god. Like a lot of the biggest cartoons were made by people who worked on Adventure Time
Okay. Okay,
nowadays.
okay, okay.
Like Adventure Time was really like the birthplace of a lot of cartoons that we
Generation.
watch now because just so many people were animators or writers on Adventure Time, and then they said, "Fuck this shit, I'm done. I'm gonna go work on something else, my own thing," and hyper successful. Again, the biggest example was Steven Universe. Rebecca Sugar wrote on Adventure Time. She wrote a few songs for Adventure Time too, which was
Goated.
like kind of we're lagging bad.
Wow. I saw that too.
That was really bad lag. We
That was very
apologize.
bad.
The should we do a quick like we'll be right back. We're back. We apologize for the lag. I don't actually know what happened there. We had to go connect our camera with HD. We were connected through Wi-Fi. I think that was the problem. So I connected it through a USB.
Hopefully that solves everything.
I hate these USBs so much, but
These damn Johns.
these damn Johns, these Johns are stupid. But hopefully we're not lagging as much anymore. Back to where I left off. Rebecca Sugar made a lot of songs for Adventure Time, right? Or made a few songs for Adventure Time. And that eventually bled through into Steven Universe. You watch
Okay.
Steven Universe,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
there's a lot of songs. There's a lot like it's the movie is literally a musical.
I didn't know that. I
The
didn't know
movie
that.
is literally a musical. So she had her artistic like input on Adventure Time. It wasn't as big because you don't see a lot of music in Adventure Time, right?
Yeah.
But she did get to flex her ideas a little bit. And then she used that and leapfrogged into her own project where she really got to put her stuff, her input, her ideas, and it became hyper successful. Steven Universe became
Yeah.
super successful.
Yeah.
It got its own movie, it got its own everything. Like, massive, massive show on Cartoon Network. Rivaled Adventure Time at one point, numbers
Yeah.
wise. And Adventure Time really did that for a lot of creatives in that space. Like it wasn't just Steven Universe. I had to think deeply about this because I don't remember everyone exactly, but a good amount of people did come from that. Did come from Adventure Time.
Adventure Time, man. That's hell of a show.
Hell of a show.
I don't even know where to begin. It's interesting because Adventure Time, my favorite show of all time, by the way.
Ever.
I should preface this with that.
Not just cartoon, like show ever.
No, like show,
Okay.
like period. Um, I didn't I didn't really see it how I saw Dr. Seuss in the sense of like this is an artistic thing. But like I was saying earlier, I definitely think I mean not even definitely think it did had have a impact on me visually as far as what I like, but I feel like it was more so like I love fantasy, right? So I definitely feel like it was more so exposing different, not only topics, but just ideas to me. You know
Okay,
what I mean? Like I'm never gonna forget the first episode with the zombie episode. That was cool.
that was the first episode ever.
Yes, the
Yep,
very first.
the very first episode.
I'm never gonna forget the episode. Dude, it was like, what's that mythical creature that has like the lion's head, or no, the lion's body, an eagle for a head. It was crazy. Bubblegum had made some crazy, crazy
Oh,
mythical
it was
creature.
from Finn's DNA, right?
Yes.
And it was like to protect the kingdom.
Yeah, that was
And then she made
fire.
like the pink one of her own DNA to defeat Finn's. Yeah,
So cool. It's like little things like that, but also just the topics they covered. Like Finn is a hard-headed guy, and he just wants to protect, but he's also epic. You know, like the epic of it all.
he's epic. He's
I mean, yeah,
awesome.
he's
Yeah.
awesome, but it's like
So Finn is
the
your favorite character?
um. I feel like as I've grown, I've come to appreciate Jake a lot. Like let me put it this way. I like Jake. I've always loved Jake a lot. Finn, but because of the topics that kind of Finn lived through, I got a lot from that as a kid. It's
Jake,
like
you get stuff when you're older.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
you
mean,
know,
Jake literally
that's
got married and had kids during the show.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You know, Jake, I've come to appreciate him a lot more because I used to like Jake just because oh, he's a yellow dog and he's got powers and it's like yo, that's fire.
and he's funny. He was
Yeah,
hilarious. He
and
was
he's
so funny.
hilarious. And like making bacon pancakes, that's iconic to me. That's
Very
iconic
iconic.
to me, bro. I could lose my memory tomorrow and I'm still gonna remember that. Like
Yeah.
that's something that is ingrained in my like being forever. But I definitely feel aside from the artistic aspect of it, the topics that they covered definitely sat with me and like pushed through me without me really realizing it. Like Finn wanting to be strong and wanting to be great, and like the Lich being all scary, and like him overcoming that. And it's like kind of the combination of all that, plus it being
I
a
had nightmares about the
whimsical.
Lich.
Huh?
I've told this story a million times.
Oh
I had
yeah,
nightmares
yeah,
about the
yeah. The
Lich growing up.
nightmares. No, the Lich is horrifying,
Yeah, the Lich is
horrifying.
scary.
But it was kind of a mix of
Mm.
everything, and it wasn't until a little bit later when I was like, yeah, this is my favorite show ever, that I came to realize just like how much I love the visuals of it all. So it's like I kind of it kind of tapped in, and obviously the visuals always captivated me, but it was more so just like you're saying, I grew up with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like everything sunk in with me, everything, but especially fantasy. Like that's another reason.
Adventure Time, it basically shaped you, you know?
In some ways, hundred
It
percent,
shaped
a
you.
hundred
Okay.
percent, 1000%.
So Dr. Seuss was like a nudge in the door, and then
Yeah.
Adventure Time bust the door open.
Oh yeah, and
Okay.
not only that, but like everything, like just like flooded through there. It's like everything, and then it's like then after that, because it was kind of like happening, like you're saying, like at the same time of a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like I was watching it and I was growing up with it, and then it's like I started liking this, and I got interested in that, and it's like Adventure Time and the concepts behind Adventure Time that had already sat with me were already there. They were already ingrained in me, and subconsciously they would like show and poke out here and there, and I'm being vague with this because it really was everything. Like I love the visuals, I love the music, I love the characters, the topics. It's like it did shape me 100%.
100%?
Yeah, yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Speaking on what you said about the Lich being kind of scary for a kid's show, like, oh my god, I can't believe they had that on a kid's
Horrifying for a
show.
kids show.
That brings me into another topic. So, you always see this idea of when something that's meant for kids is really bad. People are just like, oh, it's for kids. Who cares? Kids are stupid, right?
Okay, yeah,
Or
that's true.
like you see something in a show and it's really corny. It's like it's not funny. You're like, oh, it's just for kids. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Do you think kids deserve better?
Are we talking back then or now? Because we had it pretty good.
I'm talking any time period. Do you think kids deserve better? Do you think they deserve better than just to hear, oh, that's whatever, that's stupid? Like,
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, because bro, think about it. We had it good, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. Is like when I mean the
well,
topics.
we had it good when we were little. Because
Yeah,
when we got into like that phase of you're about to be a teenager, it was Teen Titans Go reruns back to back to back, and you're
that's
like,
true. That is kind of all I watched. Yeah, like
we like
literally.
that's where the brain rot started.
Yeah,
That's where it
I
started
mean,
with
yeah.
Teen Titans Go. Um,
No, I absolutely,
it taught you
absolutely.
valuable life lessons, but it was brain rotted.
Yeah, it was a little brain rotty. Yeah,
Like every 5 episodes, it'd be like tax fraud. You know what I mean? It'd be like what? Like every 5 episodes, it would teach you how to like
Oh
how
my
to
god.
mortgage a house, and then go back to like fighting over a bacon, egg, and cheese or something. I don't know.
Yeah, back
Whatever
to
they did.
Thunder Thighs, man.
That did,
That was an episode. That was a freaking legendary episode.
that did not shape us. Teen
At
Titans Go did
all.
not shape us. But no, so do you think the whole idea of like it's for kids, you don't need to put as much effort is valid or no?
This is gonna be a bit of a long-winded explanation. To put it short, yes.
Oh brother.
I think they deserve more.
Okay.
Um, why do I say that? Well, in my like artistry, right, and just what I enjoy, I don't have I told you like the reason that I like Drake so much?
No.
No, okay.
The music good?
I mean, aside from that, yeah, music's
Oh.
great, but you know, like you are who you hang around.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, for me especially, it also has like that also applies for art. It's like, you know, if you expose yourself to a certain thing, chill, bro.
If you explode, if you explode.
If you expose yourself to a certain thing or a lot of things, it's like that's gonna stick with you, right?
Shit.
So Drake, and I promise I'm gonna land with this one.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna land the aircraft. I'm gonna tie it all back. But Drake, he just reminisces about him being great and how he wants to be great and the stories
So
and all
you
this.
think Drake's aspirations for greatness in his music is what really like draws you to it? You're like, I
Yes,
want to be great. He talks about being
Drake
great.
Drake formed part of what greatness means to me.
I heard. So the idea again, Drake's whole idea of like I'm great, and you listen to it with the idea of I want to be like that one day. I want to be
Yes.
great.
And
Okay.
that's why I hate, and it goes way deeper than that, but you know, I'm not, I don't want to get all into that, but that's why I hate the idea of, oh, it's just for kids, oh, this, because bro, if I sit down or when I sat down and watched Adventure Time, I got things from that, man. You learn about relationships, you learn about like just letting things go, like with
That's what
with Jake, you learn about just letting things go. You learn about emotional intelligence. You learn about this and that and the
with Finn you learned
third. You know what I
about,
mean?
and with Finn you learned about responsibility.
You learn about
You learned about
responsibility.
treating others better. You learned about like you learned about so many things through these characters that people just dismiss. It's like, oh, it's just a
Yeah.
kids show. It's just a kids show.
And you never
But
know how it's gonna affect someone because for me,
mm,
right, Drake was that like later in life, but earlier in life, Adventure Time also hit me in a way that it didn't hit a lot of others. Just like some shows hit you, how it didn't hit others. For me, Adventure Time also kind of showed me like with the whole fantasy aspect of
you know,
it, this whimsical world. Something that was very common for me is like I was that type of kid, and I still am. That's like I'll look into the sky and be like, yo, like I wonder how the clouds got there, and it's like, yo, like I wonder,
you were a curious kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you look at these things, and that's why I love that episode where she took, you know, she made that creature out of Finn's DNA. It's like, yo, that's like that shit is so, especially on kids
I
that are
have a
so
fucking
impressionable,
banger
bro.
for this. Hold on.
Bro, they
Mm,
sit with you, and so it's like I'm looking at all this whimsical and all this like fantastic shit, like literally like the
yeah.
fantasy of it, and it's like with a lot of kids, me included, it's like that kind of predisposed it sets in the predisposed notion with you that you can literally do anything.
Dude,
It's like past the bounds of this
I'm
world.
so glad you brought up the fantasy of it and being a curious kid.
Yes,
Because let me
bro.
tell you, I was such a curious kid growing up. I would watch something like Adventure Time and I would question everything. I'd be like, why is, for example, when they fight the Lich for the first time, why is there a broken down subway system in a fantasy world?
Yeah.
Why are they fighting them in a like that doesn't make sense. This shouldn't be here, right? Why does the Lich exist? Why
Why the fuck is a lemon talking?
yeah, like why is this the way? An event on other kids shows that people say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just for kids. Wouldn't tell you because it's just for kids.
Yeah.
The kids don't care about no stupid talking lemon. But then Adventure Time tells you these things. Adventure Time tells you Lemon grabbed his talking lemon because Princess Bubblegum made him. Why
Yes.
did Princess Bubblegum make him into a lemon? Because her whole theme is food. Why is her whole theme like different foods and sweets? Because she comes from the mother gum. Like it all ties in. They tell you everything. You know,
Yeah, but
you
not
look
in
at
a way where like, because Wild Kratts is also one of my favorites because I just love the animals. That's more because I think it goes both ways. I think there should be shows like Adventure Time and like the regular show and all this shit where it's like there's just crazy shit going on
yeah.
and you watch it and you get what you gonna get from it. but it's like Wild Kratts is like, oh, this is cool. They throw a little twist on it because they can turn into these animals, but it's more informational. I think
It's
it goes both
educational.
ways.
Educational.
Yeah, I think it goes both
I think
ways.
PBS. I think we're talking about PBS versus Cartoon Network here.
Oh yeah,
PBS
completely
is
different.
very
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah.
a educational network.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shows like two best examples for me are Word Girl
Hmm.
and Wild Kratts. I watched both of those growing up.
Yeah,
They taught me about vocabulary and animals. That's straight education. Clifford taught you some life lessons about being
yeah,
like a good kid, all that kind of stuff. But then when you get into Cartoon Network, I'm glad you brought up Regular Show. I'll bring up Regular Show when I'm done with Adventure Time.
yeah.
But the thing with Adventure Time was every time I was curious about something the world related, it would answer it eventually.
Yes.
Why is
No
like
loose
the Metro?
ends.
Why were they in a broken down Metro? Because Ooh isn't a fantasy world. It's a dystopian future of our world,
Hmm.
where nuclear bombs dropped, and then the nuclear apocalypse happened with the zombies and Simon and all that kind of stuff. And the more you find out about the world, the more interesting world it is. The better the writing is, the better you're like. This is a deep show,
Yeah.
and as a kid, you would be so enamored with that. You'd be so like, I want to learn more. And then they'd be like, all right, 5 goofy episodes, and then one incredibly deep, heartbreaking episode that'll
Yes.
teach you about the world.
And it's like, bro,
And it was so worth those 5 episodes to get to that one episode.
and they do it in such a weird way. Like the episode
Yeah.
with the witch taking Jake's body,
The Donut Witch.
the donut witch.
And then he turned into like a little.
That's what I was referring to when I said like letting things go, because Jake was like, I don't got powers, man, but like
Life is chill.
life is chill.
No, but
It's like they did it in
it's
amazing
really
ways.
like the way I see it with Adventure Time is also every time there'd be those goofy episodes, eventually they'd bring back a topic from a goofy episode, and it was actually deep and serious.
Yeah.
The most famous example is Ice King. He was goofy for like the whole beginning part of the show, and then you find out about him and Marceline starts talking about like, oh, Simon, who the fuck's Simon? And they get the episode, the Christmas episode with BMO. They really went in depth into everything. They taught you
Yeah.
every little aspect of the world that you had the smallest question about. Why is Finn the last human? They tell you why Finn is the last human. They tell you Finn isn't the last human. There's a whole island of humans out there run by Finn's mom. Like, it teaches you so much. And that is in exact juxtaposition of a regular show. Regular show builds this fantasy world, and they don't tell you shit about it. You don't
They'll
learn,
tell you a
you don't
damn
learn
thing.
anything about the world. Every curious question you have, they don't answer it. Why? Because you don't have curious questions about the world. Because Adventure Time, not Adventure Time, regular show immediately throws you in and says, this is wacky, there's no answers, the characters don't even know the answers. This is just a wacky world.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move your curiosity away from the wackiness and towards the characters themselves. That's why it's regular show. Because the topics that you're really focused on and curious about are the regular topics, not the fantasy topics. You're not wondering about the big arcade demon shooting lasers at them. You're wondering
Golden
about
episodes.
why is Mordecai such a terrible boyfriend, and that teaches you as a kid, hey, don't do this to your girl in the future, because Mordecai did it and it ended up pretty fucking bad for him.
Man,
hey,
I never watched.
hey,
That's
you're
interesting.
you think you're lazy and you think you're a loser as an adult. Like, you watch it as a kid and you learn that like you can be a lazy loser and then change.
Yeah.
Rigby's arc, man. He starts off as basically every problem for the whole beginning of the show is Rigby's fault. He sucks. But then you see him go from like this loser who didn't even have a high school diploma, nothing. He has a whole arc where he goes back to high school to get his diploma. And he just changes as a person. And it teaches you that. So instead of wondering like, why is there a big like demon chasing them around, it's more like, what are these characters going to do to change their lives? What do these characters do that I shouldn't be doing in my real life? What do these characters
Yeah.
do that? And it teaches you genuine life lessons. While Adventure Time teaches you life lessons, Adventure Time is more like it scratches the itch of fantasy and like curiosity. Meanwhile, a regular show teaches you valuable life lessons. And what's beautiful about it is they both aired at the same time on the same network. So
Legendary.
you could be a kid and turn on the TV and you could expand your curiosity. You can watch a show that'll make you more curious about your own world while you're watching a fantasy world. And you could then, after that one's done, watch another show about how these characters are changing their lives and the things they're doing. Like even the side characters, man. Like Benson goes from like this angry guy, like he's not really happy with his life, to like by the end He has like he really cares about the people around him. And they care about
Yeah.
him. I mean, he actually. Okay, this is kind of crazy to bring this up. A lot of people don't know. He actually has an alcohol problem in the show, and they use the analogy. This is like not. This is a thing that a lot of people don't know. You really gotta be locked in to notice. There's an episode. Listen, there's an episode where he's addicted to eating wings, and when he eats the wings, it makes him like black out a little bit and like do. Yeah, there's literally one episode where he eats so many wings, and then like they're literally partying while eating the wings, and it's like cutting in between them eating it, and then it cuts to like him sitting in a chair in the middle of the desert because he blacked out from how many wings he ate. That's a euphemism for alcohol. That's a euphemism for alcohol, isn't it? Come on, be
that
honest.
I that's insane.
Yeah, and it teaches you like these life lessons. So,
That's a fucking insane way to do that, bro.
and that's something that you lose when you start saying it's just for kids. You lose the whole idea of like we're gonna add a euphemism for alcohol, teach little kids that alcohol is not good.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
add
yeah.
euphemism for drug use with the Carolina Queen episode. We're gonna lose the whole relationship advice. We're gonna lose all of that, and we're gonna replace it with low quality, easy to make stuff to just keep the kids quiet.
Yeah, I don't really know what they got going on right. Like Coco Melon.
It's just nowadays is to keep the kids just in line and quiet.
The only other one that
You know,
I've seen that I mean it isn't only like it's supposed to be a kid show, but I've seen like even people our age watching it.
what
Isn't that Ladybug girl and
miraculous?
Miraculous? I don't know. I never watched it. What even is that like what they watch nowadays?
Okay.
Is that Unk? Am I?
I have a confession to make. I have a confession to make.
Did you watch it?
I'm a grown ass man, y'all. 19 years old. I still watch Miraculous.
But is it good though?
It's really bad.
Oh fuck.
It's like.
See, I don't know if
Do we have to talk
I don't know if
about
they're
this?
watching anything good nowadays.
Do we have to
man.
talk about this on the pod?
No, we don't got to. No.
I'm gonna talk about it.
I mean, if you
I'll
want,
talk about it, y'all.
I'm
So
just showing my worry for the next generation because look at what all this shit did to us. You know what I mean?
we'll get into that in a sec. I just want to say something real quick. Miraculous is really bad, but like you can't stop watching it, man. It's so like it's 100%. It's funny because there's only two. There's only two people
Oh
in the
man.
fandom. There's only two people in the fandom.
Okay.
Girls our age and kids.
See, that's what I've heard. I've
That's
heard
it.
it's a lot of like ladies our age.
It's only women. It's only women our age and like little kids watching it, and then me,
Women
and
our
then me
age.
too,
And then Tomas.
and then me. No, because like I like it for the reason that the women our age like it, because it's literally imagine like a Mexican novela, but it's a cartoon. Like these characters go through the stupidest lengths not to get together, and they're trying their hard. Like, all right, let me tell you the main concept. No, let me tell you the
Oh.
main concept that keeps people watching.
Okay.
These two characters are superheroes, right? And the girl has a crush on the guy. So I'm gonna use their names. So you got Adrian and Marinette. Marinette
Okay.
is Ladybug. Adrian is Cat Noir, right?
Yes.
Marinette has a crush on Adrian, and Adrian has a crush on Ladybug, but Ladybug hates Cat Noir, or like thinks he's kind of annoying. So it's a love.
Wait,
It's a love
so who's
square.
Marinette?
Hold on, listen. It's a love square with two people. It's so complicated. So peep game. Marinette is Ladybug,
Okay.
and
Okay.
Adrian is Cat Noir.
The cat dude. Okay.
But they don't know each other's secret identities. And they go to the same high school, right?
Okay.
So Marinette has a crush on Adrian, who she doesn't know is Cat Noir. And Adrian slash Cat Noir has a crush on Ladybug, who he doesn't know is Marinette. And Marinette can't stand Cat Noir.
Oh my god,
So
bro.
they both have a crush on each other and they don't know it.
Yo.
And
Son.
that was enough to keep me sitting down for 5 seasons.
I
Being like,
mean-
yo, when are they gonna get together?
But I mean, like, that shit's
Bro,
good then.
it's literally like it's the point. You know how like you watch a romance anime and it's like you're 4 seasons in and you're like, when are they gonna kiss? When are they gonna kiss?
Okay, then that's good.
Imagine that.
Show. That's a
No,
good
no, no.
show. Then.
Imagine that, but like the show isn't good. So you're sitting there and you're watching the story unfold and you're just like, oh, but I gotta see them get together.
But
I've
if it's-
already invested too many chips in this.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay. But how did it get you to that point if it's not even good though?
the second I saw the concept, I was like, oh my god, how the fuck are they gonna get together? This is like great. Like the show is bad,
Okay.
but that one
Okay.
specific concept, which this concept is really the heart of the show, is so like You gotta see it. It's
And nah,
so
yeah, yeah. I
you
mean,
gotta
it's a
see
good
it.
concept. It's a good
But the
concept.
problem is the animation's terrible. It's terrible. It's like 3D animated.
Oh,
It's bad animation. It's actually meant for kids, so it's dumb. And the world building is actually good, but the story does whatever it wants whenever it wants. Like, the story does whatever it wants when it wants, except for the main reason why people are watching. So it's like, imagine every aspect of the show is like kind of not great, and then the main reason why people are watching is fucking amazing. Does that make sense? So it's like no one would ever say Miraculous is good, but there's so many people that are like, yeah, it's so bad. I watch it every day. You know what I mean? I don't. I only watch it when it drops.
I don't.
Guilty pleasure, man. It's genuinely a guilty
No, I mean
pleasure of mine.
that's all right, man.
Yeah.
But that's why I ask is like we came up on all
I'm gonna
this.
get clowned on this clip, by the way.
It's like we came up on all this. What do they have?
What do they have? What?
What do they have? Like what cartoons are
Oh,
good now?
I was so focused on Miraculous, I forgot. Like,
I mean, that's one of
I was
them,
stuck up on
obviously.
that. No, nowadays, from what I've seen, the only show I've ever seen that kids watch nowadays is this one about like an onion and an apple. I saw it on my feed like
Okay.
a while ago. It was a meme, and it actually looked kind of funny. It looked pretty good. I was like, oh, that's cool. I guess what kids are watching nowadays. I actually know what it's called. I'll throw it up on screen, a little photo of the whatever if I find it. But if I find it, and I just saw a meme about it, and I was like, that's actually really funny. Like the meme I saw was they were hiding from something, and he's like,
Okay.
"Quick, there's a trash can. Let's hide. Let's hide." And instead of getting in the trash can, he jumped on top of the trash can and jumped through the roof, and the roof broke. And the other guy just looked at him like this.
Okay, that's pretty.
Now I was
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty
okay, that's
funny.
kind of funny. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty
you know what it
funny.
reminded me of? It reminded me of Smiling Friends, but like for kids.
That's what I was thinking when you said that. I was thinking of Smiling
It
Friends.
genuinely reminded me of Smiling Friends, but for kids. Smiling Friends is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it's good.
So off topic. This is like actually personal. Me and Derrick thing. I gotta tell him. Do you know what Smiling Friends did in one of the most recent episodes? They dropped a Chris Chan reference.
Don't look him up. Don't look him up.
Don't
Don't look him up.
look
Don't look
him
him
up.
up.
Look him up. Look him up. Look him up. Look him
Don't,
up. I
man.
told Derrick about Chris Chan, and he's been scarred ever since. Genuinely. We're so off topic. Let's get back on. So
We weren't that off topic, man. I
kids
mean,
now,
Chris Chan was bad, but
kids nowadays, I don't think they have what we and Jenny. This is us speaking out of our asses. We don't know what kids watch nowadays.
I mean, you want me to
But
quick Google search?
no, because even if you look it up, we're not even gonna know what the context of the show. Like, imagine you saw a photo of
try to
it.
judge it
If
though.
you saw a photo of Adventure Time, you can't judge it. You don't know what it's about. It looks stupid, but
Fair.
it's actually like, you know, I'm not gonna speak too much on that. All I'm gonna say is from what we know, I don't think kids have what we had, and it is genuinely such a sad idea. Um, I've thought about maybe if I did become a successful writer, making a cartoon in my older age, just like so the kids can have what we had. You know, I
Yeah.
want them to have an Adventure Time. I want them to have a regular show. I want them to maybe they do go back and watch it the way we watched Johnny Bravo, the way we
Hopefully.
watched Dexter's Lab. Maybe they go
Hopefully.
back and watch
Yeah.
what we watched. But no, I think it's very important for kids to be exposed to this kind of art,
Yeah.
which is actually another topic that me and him want to talk about this episode. Should kids be forced to explore their creativity in school? Like, should there be classes that you know how you need certain math classes to pass, you
Right.
need certain writing classes to pass?
Yeah.
Should you need to take at least one art elective, like
Yes.
how it is now?
Yes. I think for a variety of reasons.
That's that's a controversial take. Like I
Um.
hear so in high school I heard so many people complaining, being like, "Why do I need to take an art class? Why do I need to take a ceramics class? Why this is stupid? This is wasting my time."
I'll tell you why, man. And this goes across tons and tons of surfaces of where and bases to cover here, but at the very base of it, right? Not only is it gonna help you understand historically, right? Art is part of history, period. That's
Art is
just
for
that's
history.
just what it is, right? So you're gonna be exposed to it one way or another, right? But the identity of art, right? The idea of expressing oneself. How else are you gonna know how to use things, right? To express yourself. Because the only thing that you are taught that you have to know, which is the main way that people express themselves, is speech.
Yeah,
Of course.
speech is but they don't teach you how to express yourself with speech.
No, no, I'm saying, but
They teach like,
someone's gonna know, like, okay, there's the word angry, then there's the word fuck. If you're angry, you're gonna say fuck this.
yeah, but they teach it more in like a utilitarian,
No, no,
like
no, of course,
you're
of
using
course.
language to tell people what you want, to tell people what you. Whoa,
Was that outside?
yeah,
Big ass bird flew
big
by.
ass bird flew by our window. Back to it. So it's mainly the idea of you learn language for the idea of communication, not for the idea of like, because
That's the
you
problem,
do
though.
use language to express yourself in art, rap,
No, no, I don't mean in
poetry.
art. I don't mean
No,
in
I'm
art.
saying rap, poetry, all that comes from language,
Hmm.
and maybe you should be forced to take a poetry class or at least one kind of self-expression, painting, ceramics,
I don't think.
poetry,
I don't
creative
think.
writing,
Yeah, I
like
don't think you should be forced to take any single one of them.
you pick between one of them.
I think there should be mandatory. Which I mean, to be fair to life, because life
Yeah.
isn't so easy, right? PE sometimes gets cut just off of money, right? Money's always going to be an issue.
PE should never be cut.
It shouldn't, but it does sometimes, right? And that's happened before, and it is what it is. But that's looking at more of the flaws. But in a perfect world, yes, I think kids should be forced to sit in one of those classes. Now, I think every school should have all of them, right? So
Yeah.
break it down to the most general,
Art
whether it
is
be
the most expensive like type of class
yeah,
to
whether it be
have
just
though.
painting, whether it
Yeah.
be specifically visual arts, just have a nice variety of things like that because that's the whole problem is like the only way most people know how to express themselves is through speech. Why? Because that's literally how you express yourself to somebody. If you say, hey, I didn't like this, that's you telling them this made me feel this way. You know what I mean? And it's like there's so much to explore when it comes to artistry. You know what I mean? And even in today's world, um, art teaches.
Okay.
Like that's just the reality of it. Is like art teaches. Everybody knows what a movie is. Everybody knows what a book is. And it's like if you want to go learn something, right? Because not everyone just has a mentor to solve every single one of their questions. A lot of the time it's art, whether it be a movie, whether it be a video, whether it be a
That's why
painting
you want
maybe.
the classes though,
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
mentorship. Someone who is educated in the field could teach you.
Because most people don't have that.
Yeah.
Or
But
they don't even know how to interpret it. You know what I mean?
getting to the cost. Let me grab something real quick to show y'all on camera.
Tall ass Donnie right here. Tall ass Donnie.
So this is an acrylic paint set that I have. One person. So let's just say you want to do a painting class, right? For all the students in a high school. There's one set, not a lot of colors, very basic. This
Yeah.
cost me $80.
Yeah.
So you would have to spend $80 per person on just the paint.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you can get around to people sharing sets, all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't account for how much brushes are going to cost, how much canvas is going to cost. In a painting class, you wouldn't just be teaching painting, you'd probably be teaching a few other art forms. You'd probably need watercolors too, you'd probably need a bunch of different things, not just acrylic paint.
Yeah. It
So
goes.
the money of it, I see it, especially when you start to get into really, really expensive art forms. Like painting is expensive, and painting is still one of the cheaper ones.
Yeah.
Think about ceramics.
That's what I'm saying though. Like in a perfect world, right?
Yeah,
Is that gonna happen ever?
in our
Probably not.
world, in our world, because in a perfect world, I think everyone would agree. Yeah, you should take an art class.
Yeah.
But in the world we live in, how do we do it? What's the idea here? Without saying give schools more funding, because
Exposure. It costs
exposure.
it costs nothing nowadays because everybody has a phone. Every teacher has a computer. It costs nothing to listen. Let's pull this up. Let's use the internet. Let's use this vast expanse of knowledge that we have and teach it, man. Teach because at the
How
end of
would
the
that
day,
solve the money problem though?
no, no,
Because
I'm
money
not saying
problem
it
is in the
would solve
economy.
the money problem because at the end
Okay.
of the day, the kids, if you aren't gonna have the money to get these kids brushes or art books you're not gonna have it. Listen, that's just what it is. But there can absolutely still be art classes.
Oh,
You know what I
100%,
mean? Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, how do we do it so they can offer as many art programs as possible? Because you want to have as many art programs as possible. For
Yeah.
example, we went to Alonzo, right? How many art programs did we have at Alonzo? We had a painting class, or 2D art. We had 3D art with ceramics. We had band, which is basically all the instruments,
Yeah, we had a
and
couple of music things. We had believe it or not, we had a fashion class.
no way,
Yeah,
never heard of it.
yeah.
Did you take it?
No.
Why?
Why the fuck would I take a fashion class?
For fun?
Oh well, okay, fair. But which I was going to, and then I heard the class wasn't even good.
You know what's funny? A creative writing class, and I didn't take it.
Exactly.
But so we're hypocrites, basically. No,
Nah, I
no, no,
mean,
no. Like seriously though, I think the main difference with art classes right now and what I'm trying to express
mhm.
is that art classes right now, I also think, are just underfunded. Teachers are sometimes not given the light creativity that they should be. It's mainly that the classes suck right now. Like some of them suck right now.
Yeah. I mean,
And
funding is a problem in
And
general,
you know
by
who
the
gets?
way.
It's always the teachers who get blamed for the class sucking. Oh, the teacher's fault. It's usually not the teacher's fault. It's usually the school not allowing them to do certain things, not giving them the funding to do certain things, which ends up with having these bare bone art classes that kids just don't want to take. Because you
Yeah.
don't want to write an essay for an art class. Let's be honest. And when you don't have the money to buy the proper equipment to have the kids doing the stuff, what are you going to end up doing? Showing them videos, making them write essays about it. You don't want to write an essay in a painting class. You don't want to write an essay in a ceramics class. And that's why you end up with creative writing classes, right? Those end up being some of the most fondly talked about out of any art class. Because pen, paper, resources, boom, the kids got it. And people love creative writing. And then you look at like some of the other art classes, and it's always like it was really hard to find the right paint I needed. It was really hard to find the right brush I need. And then the saddest thing for me was hearing all my teachers in high school, the art teachers specifically, art teachers, saying that they had to buy their own equipment on a teacher's salary.
Which again, I think,
That's so sad. Like hearing them be like, "Yeah, I went out and I had to drop this amount of money to buy this set so y'all could use it. So please don't steal it from me."
but the problem
I'm like,
is,
"Damn, bro."
but the problem is exactly right. Aside from the world part about which you
Yeah.
can't change shit, I can't change shit. It is what it is, right? Is the students as well, right? Which again, in part, is due to how the school system works. But I went out of my way during high school to because I heard this quote. Um, if you keep trying shit and you don't like it, listen, that's one more thing that you know you don't like. At least
Okay.
go out of your way to try as many things as humanly possible, right? I feel like a lot of kids that aren't interested in art, not only are they not taught to have that intrigue, to be inquisitive, to go out and try different things, which leads to them in turn not giving a fuck about anything because all of that is just a grade to them. But I forgot where I was going with it. Listen, the point is
Yo.
they're not taught in that way. And part of that is due to such a heavy focus on, like you were saying, like they're taught math and that you need it. They're taught science and they need it and all that. But at such a young age, when they're exposed to the art, when they get to middle school, and it either just goes away, because a lot of the time it just goes away. Like a lot of middle schools, like the funding at Farnell where I went, bro. I wanted to take French. The year that I went into there, French got kicked because people weren't interested in it, right?
Yo,
Ceramics.
my
Ceramics at Alonzo could very easily get kicked if people aren't picking it very easily, very quickly.
I have a disturbing thing to tell you about my middle school. Disturbing. So I went to Channelside Middle School, right? What they did, they had two classes. They had a first of all, we were separated into a system with the I don't know a better way to say this. The advanced kids and the regular kids. Genuinely, and that's what they would tell us too. And you know what the codes would be? If you were in sixth grade, you'd be in 601 or 602.
Okay.
601 was like, and you would take a, a class. Every single class you took was with the same kids.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
601
yeah.
you would take like I was in 601, 701, and 801, right? And you had band and art.
Okay.
And all the smart kids in the O1 classes would take, not to say the kids that I went to middle school with that were in the O2 class were dumb. They weren't dumb. It was, this is the worst part. it wasn't separated by smarts and dumb. It was separated by a good amount of effort and behavior. So
Okay.
you could have literally been a kid where you were really smart, but you might have had some personal problems at home that stopped you from, made you act out a little bit, all that kind of stuff. And they'd be like, nah, you're dumb. We're going to throw you in the dumb class. Like, you weren't,
Jesus.
it was a bad, I think it was a terrible, terrible system. And this is where we get to the art of the situation, right? All the O1 kids were forced to take band, and all the O2 kids were forced to take art. You could have been, I was someone who I loved drawing growing up, and that killed my passion for drawing. The fact that I couldn't take the art class. And I was forced to take, we
Okay.
didn't have band, we were forced to take choir. I, no hate on choir. It was actually a really good class, and the teacher was really good at teaching. You know what I mean? She was a great teacher. I didn't care for choir. I wanted to be in the art class, and they didn't let me.
Yeah. Like, do you know how many people, man, we know that don't not only don't know about art, but
Yeah,
literally could
don't
not
care.
care less if it
Yeah,
existed? You know what I mean?
I think that's such a sad place for the world to be in. I think we're in a point of history where that's at its lowest.
Yeah.
The amount of people that care about art is absolutely the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
500 years ago, man,
It sucks because
1,000 years
then
ago.
that leads a lot of people. Like I had a boy, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm just not really. I don't see myself as creative. I don't see myself as this or that." And it's like he was a tech major, by the way. He
Oh,
graduated.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
great guy.
yeah, he's a good guy.
Um,
Played a lot of Elden Ring with him.
yeah, and one day he was talking to me about like this idea that he had,
Yeah,
and I would just hear him talk about certain things because I mean, the guy was a tech major, so he would like every now and then just drop some dope like tech facts or stuff like that.
yeah.
And it's like, bro, a lot of people, even especially in those fields, are like, yo, I'm just not creative. Businessman, I'm
Shout
just
out,
not creative like
shout
that.
out him by the way. He was, like genuinely. Anytime I played Elden Ring with him, he was a really good guy. Like,
Good fucking guy, and it sucks because it's like so many people like that. And I talked to him, I was like, bro, the way that you're speaking to me, you're clearly creative. It's just in a different light.
I have a. It's crazy because we all know someone like that. I
Yeah,
have a
it's just
friend.
like in a
You know
different.
what?
It's just in a
I'm
different
gonna say
way.
his name because I said his name last episode, and I sent it to him, and he was like, "That's hype. That's fire." So shout out Diane again.
Oh
Two
yeah,
episodes in a
yeah,
row. Me and him, we did this thing where we said, when did the MCU get bad, right?
yeah.
And we chose a point and said, from that point on, let's remake everything in our own image of where we think the MCU should have gone. And every 5 minutes, he'd remind me, being like, "You're the guys that come up with the ideas, and I'm just gonna like edit them a little bit because I'm not creative. I don't know anything
Mm-hmm.
about making movies. I don't know anything about writing. I don't know anything about this stuff. So you make that stuff. I'm gonna be more on the side, right?" And every not every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds, I'd throw an idea out there. Like, no, let me throw an even better idea out there. And he'd throw so many great ideas, and he'd start coming up with his own stuff. He'd be like, no, we should do it like this, like instead of that. And his ideas would be great. And then right after he said, they'd be like, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about creativity. I don't know nothing about art.
Yeah,
And I'm
bro.
like, no, bro, you're like really creative, and you're coming up with great ideas here. You're literally like great writing ideas, great character development ideas. You're saying, I think this character in this movie should do this, which will lead into their arc in the next movie. And he's like, yeah, I don't know nothing about that though. I don't have any
And it's
creativity
like,
in me.
how many people do you know like that?
Dude,
How many people do
my
you
side
know like
hurts.
that?
Damn,
Huh?
my side hurts. Some water.
How many people do you know like that? Maybe you're that person. You probably are. Fucking,
Lock
fucking.
in?
No, I said fucking goof.
If you're what?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but
Lock in, man. It's all about exploring, bro.
seriously, I just want to dispel this notion. There's no such thing as people who are not creative.
Yeah, all of us got it in
Everyone
us, man.
is creative. It's whether or not you choose to embrace it or not.
Yeah, but also it's just like, wait. What do you mean by embrace it?
Some people don't use their creativity often. They let it sit on the side. They hustle, they make their money doing their stuff, and then they go home and they do stuff they enjoy. They don't really focus on the art
Oh, okay. Yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they have it in them. They just choose not to.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like you said, we're in a good spot right now. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that is pushing kids, especially to go out and be creative, is different. I think that's a big thing that we've kind of like been hinting at, but I didn't really like it didn't click with me until just now. For us specifically, I don't know that many people, actually besides Tomas, that cartoons were like what it was. Like,
Formative.
yeah, yeah.
Formative.
Besides me and
Should I
Tomas, I don't know anybody
should I
else.
tell this the story, the most formative cartoon story for me?
Hold on.
Save that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
alright.
What? Where was I?
My bad.
You fucked me.
My bad.
Pause.
You said I'm the only person you know, one of the only people you know that was heavily influenced by cartoons in their
Oh yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah.
There we
That
go.
like the way that these things happen changes. It's like social media is a huge part in how people Pinterest, like all this stuff is a huge part in how kids are exposed to this type of stuff and how they learn and where they get their questions from. Because again, like a lot of our questions were from watching these things, and
Yeah.
then eventually we started again exploring this and looking at this, and we started coming up with what we liked and where we like to dive into and learn. But it's like it's gonna change. It's gonna change.
It
So
isn't.
like even
Yeah,
though even though
100%.
you and me, right, we're unk and where you're like, yo, the kids fucking shows nowadays, which again we could be talking about out our ass.
They could be
Yeah,
amazing.
they could be amazing, but we're
Yeah.
like, yo, they buns, they definitely not as good as when we had it and like, how we learn and how we got here.
People probably say that about the shows we watch.
Yeah.
Oh man, that growing up in the early 2010s must have been terrible because y'all didn't have, I don't even know, Looney Tunes.
Goated, by the way.
Which we did have Looney Tunes, but do you want to know? The same way we're saying they don't have Adventure Time. They might be watching Adventure Time for all we
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
They might.
But
I mean, we watched Johnny Bravo, Dexter's
yeah, we
Lab,
watched fucking everything.
Foster's,
Yeah, fucking Scooby
Flapjack,
Doo,
Scooby
fucking
Doo.
everything, bro.
What?
I think the newest one, I think the latest cartoon that I got into was
Yeah,
Bubble Guppies. I think that's like the cutoff for me. Because Bubble Guppies was like
Bubble Guppies?
was that like
That was
more
good.
recent or was that old?
I'm pretty sure that's old, but that was good.
I mean, I watched it was all right. I watched a couple episodes.
I really didn't watch much on Nickelodeon. I think Nickelodeon was the one network as a kid that I really avoided. I didn't watch a lot of like anything
I
on there.
watched a couple things on there.
What did they have aside from like SpongeBob? Growing up for us, what did they have?
I'm not, I bro, I don't know.
You don't remember?
Like, I'm sure I watched a good
I
number of them, but I don't know specifically what was Nickelodeon.
I remember
I remember Cartoon
Disney.
Network majority of them.
Cartoon Network was the go,
Yeah,
but then
go to him.
Disney had some heat. Like top two for me on Disney was Gravity Falls, obviously, and then Star Versus. Those two were heat. Like I'd watch
Oh,
those. Did you get to
holy!
the end of Star Versus, or did you stop watching cartoons before it ended?
I think no, I watched Star Versus when I was older, out of my own accord when I was older.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
watch like I watched it a little bit when I was like when it was coming out, and then I didn't watch it for a minute, and then I think like middle school or high school, I went back and started watching it again. But I don't think I got very close to the end. I don't think I finished it though.
I watched Star Versus and Gravity Falls are a really weird example for me, and Steven Universe, where I actually watched them from start to finish. Like when the first episode premiered, I was there, dude.
Oh no,
Let me.
there's like nothing that I
I have
watched
two
like that.
stories about Steven Universe and Gravity Falls, which I always tell people. I remember when I was really little, I was watching a show, and then a premiere, like a pilot for a cartoon aired, because Cartoon
Hmm.
Network used to air these pilots, and if the pilots were successful, then they would air the full show, right? I watched the pilot for Steven Universe.
Really?
You can look it up. The art style was different. The characters were different. Everything was so different. But when Steven Universe eventually did come out, even though it was so different, I still linked two and two together. Like I was watching like Steven Universe premiere, and I was like, I remember this. I watched a while ago.
Hmm.
But the art style, like you can look up a photo if you want. Everything was different in the pilot. Gravity Falls is the same thing. I remember watching like the stuff announcing that Gravity Falls was going to come out at Raymond's house
Okay.
when I was little, and then I eventually went and watched Gravity Falls. And for me, those experiences really attached me to the shows. I felt like I was there since day one. I was like,
Okay.
Adventure Time. We picked up Adventure Time a little later. Obviously, Adventure Time came out like 2010. We're like 4 years old. We picked up Adventure Time a little later. You know, I think we still picked it up quite early on.
Yeah.
We both picked
Yeah.
it up like when season one was all like serializing, but we weren't there for when it was like, oh, this is a show. It's coming out. It's gonna come out soon. I wasn't there for that. I was there like, I think the first episode I watched was the one with the train. They're like on a train, and it's like a murder mystery. It's really early on in the show.
Yeah, I remember.
Not there's two train episodes. I'm talking about the later train episode. Like it's like Finn gets older on the train. I'm talking about that one. I'm about the
Okay.
really early on train episode.
I'd have to see it again.
I think Finn pranks Jake in this episode, and this episode then leads to Jake pranking Finn in the mansion episode.
Okay.
Do you remember that episode?
No.
The one in the mansion, everyone got murdered, and Finn was like freaking out. Everyone's dead. Oh my god! And then it was just like Jake playing a prank on him.
Nah, bro.
Okay, but that was the first episode I watched Adventure Time, and I was still connected to it. But just the fact that I watched Gravity Falls, Star Versus, and Steven Universe when they first came out, really like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt forced to finish Star Versus.
Okay.
I didn't like the ending.
I heard.
I
I
think the
heard it wasn't.
ending. It's not that it's a bad ending. It was just so rushed.
Mm.
Samurai Jack did the same thing, by the way. Cartoons growing up loved rushing their endings.
Hey, bro.
They loved rushing their endings. And, I think that sticks with me. Like, a disappointing ending to a show could ruin the whole show for me. Just because growing up, it happened to me so often. I think the only two examples of cartoons I remember them ending, and I was like, that was beautiful, three. Was Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, and Regular Show. All three, I was like, this ended, this was beautiful, this is amazing, I'm so happy. But like Star Versus ending, oh man, Steven Universe ending. Like Steven Universe ending, they forgave the diamonds. And they're like war criminals, bruh. They was murdering full planets.
Wisdom.
And they were like, we forgive y'all. Like, no.
Wisdom, bro.
What?
Wisdom.
What do you mean wisdom?
Wise people. Forgiveness.
They murdered planets. Like whole planets. Killed everyone on it. And we're like, yeah, we forgive them.
Wisdom.
It's like
Let it go. Whatever it is, let it go.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because it was like they literally went from like planet murdering dictators to like they sung one song and now it's like no, they're good now. It's like no, come on, man, don't do that now. Like we went
So you
to
think they should have just murked the diamonds? Just bent him
nah,
over fucking Frank to the wall.
nah, but maybe like more build up to the redemption. It kind
Okay.
of came out
Okay.
of left field a little bit, and I was like, okay, I guess, bro. But no, I don't know. I think bad endings have just stuck with me now. Like Game of Thrones,
Speaking of things that stick with you, I like that you brought that up. how
Dexter,
how
Game of Thrones, like that really.
insane work.
What?
Dexter, like that was
Bishop?
such a jump.
Terrible ending. Like
Hey, bro.
I'm just
But
saying, like these shows, like bad endings really stick with me, man. Like could ruin a whole show for me.
how how did these? Because you said the aesthetic of everything was like rooted much earlier. How did any of these shows, any and all of these shows, kind of form what you like just in general today, or where you went on to explore and think about?
So for me, the stuff I do now for writing, I think I write a lot of fantasy stuff and a lot of world building. That is straight up Adventure Time.
Okay, okay,
Like
okay.
that want to write these big worlds, and it straight up came from Adventure Time. Like there's not much
Yeah,
else there.
I'm glad that was very. I
Like
wasn't expecting that,
Adventure
but
Time literally inspired that, and then like watching something like Game of Thrones and like Lord of the Rings, like expanded my love of that kind of stuff. But Adventure Time was the original. Adventure Time was the one where I was like, yeah, I love these like fantasy worlds with like crazy world building and in depth
okay,
stuff. Like it was the original, 100%.
okay.
Not much for me to say there.
What about that was
That's
not
like one to
expected.
one, one to one. Like I remember the first ever fantasy story I wrote was literally like inspired by Adventure Time.
That's kind of legendary. Okay, what about things like
What was it for you? What was it for you? Like anything that inspired you to like fuck with clothes when it comes to you know stuff in
clothing
your childhood. It doesn't
was
have to be cartoons, but
yeah, clothing was a little different. Clothing, I didn't get into clothing from cartoons or art or anything. I just liked shoes. I liked shoes, and then I went on,
what
which is
got
why
you into shoes?
I don't even really remember. I just remember I always knew about shoes because my family, J's and all that. And then my boy was like, "Yo, check this out," and I was like, "Oh, that's fire." It was like then I got introduced to Goat and all that type of stuff, and then the hype beast stuff started coming up, and I kind of got funneled into that whole culture. But why I ask you is because for me personally, it's all about the aesthetic and how the art is conducted.
Mm.
You know what I mean? In the sense of like how it's delivered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of things that definitely influenced what I like as far as visuals.
Yeah.
Again, I
Okay.
love colors. That's Adventure Time. All types of stuff. Being unapologetic, Adventure Time. Shit being wacky and goofy and whimsical, Adventure Time. And all the
Adventure
other
Time
shit
should
that I
probably
watched.
be like in the thumbnail of this episode. Like
Yeah,
Adventure
yeah, yeah,
Time,
yeah.
big influence for both of us.
It's
We would
like
love
that.
Adventure
Yeah, that
Time.
was the base of everything. Because then a lot of the other stuff that I love now is based off of that stuff. A lot of the stuff that I love is fantasy. Elden Ring. We're gonna have a very extensive
Game
episode.
is the gaming episode gonna be Adventure Time? Not Adventure Time. Elden Ring.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
That's gonna be an episode I'm so excited to
Covered in
watch.
Elden Ring tats.
Huh?
Covered in Elden Ring
Yeah,
tats.
and
You
we're
actually
getting
have an
more.
Adventure Time tat too, no?
I also have an Adventure Time tat. Yeah. Um.
Creativity. Yeah.
But yeah. See, I asked you because for me, it was not necessarily taking elements from. Oh, well, technically, I mean, it was elements because of the colors and blah 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 blah. But it was more so of like the feeling of everything and how everything moved and how I interpreted it and then how it sat with me. And I'm kind of pushing that out in my own way. But it's very reminiscent of all of that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Especially, again, Adventure Time being so many things, which there's been plenty of other things like, you know, minor, like regular show, of course, and all types of shit.
Yeah.
But, and also, believe it or not, Pink Panther and that whole era of cartoons,
That
huge.
affected
I
your.
haven't mentioned it much, but artistically later after I got back in and was like, yo, I love cartoons and all that type of stuff.
So like your Scooby Doo's, your Pink Panthers, your Looney
Johnny
Tunes,
Bravo,
Johnny
like
Bravo,
yeah, all
Dexter's
that type of
Lab,
stuff. Tom and
Ed
Jerry,
and
Tom
Eddie.
and Jerry, huge one. Ed, and Eddie, not as much. I did
Not as
watch it.
much.
I did watch
Okay.
it, but not as much. But things like Tom and Jerry, things like the Pink Panther, things like
Tom and Jerry,
yeah, the
man.
Looney Tunes, yeah,
I love me some Tom and Jerry.
Mickey, just cause,
Mickey.
yeah, all that, all
What
that.
was you reminded me, I was gonna ask you this earlier when you first brought it up. What was your favorite Scooby Doo?
What do you mean?
What was your favorite Scooby Doo?
The original. Actually, I don't even know what it's called.
1960?
Huh?
The
I'd have to look it
1960
up.
Scooby Doo?
Let me hit a quick Google
Or
search.
19 I said 1960. 19 like 70 Scooby Doo?
Let's see here.
It's called what's Scooby Doo, Where Are You?
Yes.
Or just Scooby Doo. It might just be called Scooby Doo. My favorite was Mystery Inc.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, where are you? Oh wait, that's the theme song though. So I think it's just Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo. My favorite was when did it come out, by the way?
Hold on. Scooby Doo.
Pass me the phone, let me see.
This is all. Oh, 1969 and 1978.
See, I said
That
1960,
was that
1970s.
was Goat
That
Scooby
was
Doo. That was Goat
my
Scooby
goat
Doo
Scooby Doo was
100%.
Mystery Inc. Look up drop up Mystery Inc.
Mystery Inc.
Yeah, that one started coming out when we were like growing up, and it was, you know what it was, Derek? It
What?
was Scooby Doo with world building and mystery. It was
Oh, this one was good too.
lore world building
Yeah,
Scooby Doo.
I like this one too. This one was
So
good too.
it
But
comes
not
back.
yeah.
It comes back down to my love of lore and world building.
Yeah,
Lore and world
yeah.
building Scooby Doo was my favorite.
Okay, that makes sense. Now that the original one was like what I was fucking
Like
with.
that Scooby Doo had a whole thing where like there was like different generations of mystery gangs that like were investigating like this deep
Oh,
evil inside the town,
that's dope.
and the evil would like keep reincarnating them so they would come back. And one of the main villains like this owl that was like the Scooby Doo of the original, the other gang before them, like their
Okay,
pet animal. And he's like super smart and evil, and he's trying to revive like an ancient god or something. Like
that's fire.
it was
Yeah,
fire.
bro. All those type of things kind of like stuck with me, which is why I asked you because with me it's a lot easier to like see where it comes from. You know what I mean? Like where my art kind of comes from. With you,
Easier than Adventure Time, straight line to
no, not necessarily, but it's like
yeah.
just like visually, right? Because you can see the similarity in writing, but like generally, as far as what you do, just as a medium, it's a little more difficult in some ways to see where it came from or
For
how you kind
writing?
of built that personality.
For writing? No, I don't think so.
In some ways,
I
I
think
think
for
so.
me, my
Like
writing,
like writing a book
if you
is gonna
read,
sound similar to could sound similar to a certain show or something,
yeah,
but it's like for me example, visual
yeah.
very easy.
If you read any of the books that I've been like, if you know when they come out and all that stuff, if you read that or watch the show, or whatever, if I decide to make it into a show book, you would clearly see the like inspiration from real life history, real life human history, um, Game of Thrones,
But what does that look like to
Adventure
you though? That's what
Time.
I'm saying.
Like you would see that though.
Like what is what you experienced impacting this? Like what that middle part right there.
What do you mean?
Like how did you get from here to here? Like all that stuff, how do you incorporate
I
it into
was
what you got going on now?
I'm confused. So
Like give me the answer that you gave me for the Adventure Time example, but like for all the shit. Just
so
generally as a whole.
growing up, I liked history.
Okay.
I've always liked history. I learned about history. I gained a lot of knowledge about it. It's a topic that I really love. I love mainly medieval history. Anything from I like Rome, but mainly anything from the fall of Rome up until like the 1500s.
Okay.
Like maybe not the 1500s. Like anything before Napoleon. Like I don't like Napoleonic wars, like World War II, World War One. Like that's not my point. My point in history is like before, mainly before guns. I'd say before guns were like commonplace, and from the fall of the Roman Empire, because that's when Europe was really like in pieces, and you had a lot of stuff going. I love the Byzantines. The Byzantines were about. They're really
Mm-hmm.
cool, and it was just something that I liked, and I liked it over here. It's just a hobby that I have, reading
Right.
about it, learning about it. I had this other hobby for writing, you know, and then I watched something like Game of Thrones that implemented history into its writing. I was like,
Okay.
oh, I could do. I'm not really inspired by Game of Thrones in the sense of like the way Game of Thrones is written, as much as the idea that George Martin grabbed so much, he grabbed so much world history to inspire his own story. I was like, oh, I can do that for my story. I can grab world history, different parts of the world. I think Game of Thrones, like Westeros, is pretty well inspired by England. I make the argument. I'm not sure, but it's mainly the idea that in Westeros it was conquered by like Aegon the Conqueror. England was conquered by William the Conqueror. You know, the bloodline that then ruled England still to this day. The kind of idea, right?
Okay.
So I'm not inspired by England. I don't love England's history that much. I'm more of like a European, Eastern Europe too. I love some Eastern Europe. But just the idea that Game of Thrones grabbed a lot from real life history, that's an inspiration for me. And then the fantasy elements of Adventure Time,
Mm-hmm.
specifically, the idea that the magic in Adventure Time seems just like, oh, it's just magic. But then when you learn more about it, it's like way deeper. It's not just magic. Like you have the
Okay.
comets and you have the like nuclear bombs and the lich and all that deeper stuff and Gulb and all that. That's how I treat my magic system like Adventure Time. I treat my world building like Game of Thrones.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that makes
Okay.
sense. That's
Yeah.
why both of those are like the heaviest inspirations for me.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Because I thought it was gonna be more so like picking. Because you know how I just mentioned like a lot of it is Adventure Time,
Yeah,
and then the accents, like the little seasonings in
yeah,
it, is like all those older shows that I watched.
yeah.
That's what I thought it was gonna be like. But for you,
So
it's more so like just like these behemoths kind of led you in this direction, and now you've got this foundation. Now for each story you approach it, and you just
yeah,
kind of pick anything that you
when
want.
I write a story, I think when you write a fantasy like story that is based in like medieval that kind of history, you go in two different directions. You're either a Lord of the Rings, where you very much say fantasy stuff is way main thing. You know what I mean? Like we love the fantasy, we love the magic. That's
Hmm.
the forefront, and then like medieval is the background, right? And then you
Okay.
have Game of Thrones, where it's like the medieval is the forefront, the fantasy is the background, right?
Hmm.
I I think for me that I want the medieval to be the forefront.
Okay.
But I don't like Game of Thrones' magic that much. I was never a fan of like Daenerys' storyline with the dragons, and that. I was always much more of like a War of the Five Kings. I was way more interested in Robb versus I was gonna say Joffrey, but realistically it's Tywin. Robb versus Tywin versus Stannis versus like the actual fighting for the actual Game of Thrones, the game
Okay.
for the throne. That
He
was
said the thing.
that was always way more interesting to me than like Daenerys and her dragons and the Red Witch and her stuff and the White
Yeah.
Walkers. Like I didn't really care about the fantasy elements as much as the medieval. When it comes to fantasy, again, I just love the way Adventure Time does it. Adventure Time does it so clean. Adventure Time doesn't have much, which you just say I'm crazy when I say this. Adventure Time doesn't actually have much fantasy creatures.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, but like they have candy people. And like, what powers do the candy people actually have from being candy people?
Yeah,
They're
no,
just
that's true.
people who happen to be candy. You know what I mean? Like Marceline's a vampire, but like, what did she actually? Oh, she can't be in the sun. No, her main storylines are like her as a character. Like, you know, the main important fantasy stuff are magic and things that people use. It's not like their species of Game of Thrones is
Oh, okay,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
the White Walkers are like they have their magic because they're White Walkers, or like the dragons are literally dragons.
yeah.
In
Interesting.
Adventure
Okay,
Time, it's a
okay,
lot
okay.
more like these characters use magic.
Yeah,
You know,
Finn and his swords. Yeah,
Finn's magical swords, or like
yeah,
the Ice King and like his ice magic, and
yeah.
Jake stretching. Jake is a dog. Jake isn't like
Jake,
a
yeah, Jake's just a
mythical
dude.
creature. He's a dog, and he has the ability to stretch. That's his magic. You know, that might not make a lot of sense, but that's just the way I see it. I
No, I
I
like with
much
that.
prefer like magic over fantasy creatures.
Okay,
Game of Thrones is much more fantasy. I don't like the way they do their magic, basically.
I'm kind of like in between with it.
Yeah.
Like I like again like the epic of everything, and like how grandiose things feel. I like the idea of I use castles a lot as like examples,
Okay.
just because like I like that. But I don't know. I think I like them both equally. Which I mean, it's hard for me to sit down and think about extensively because usually if I'm experiencing something like that, I'm either reading something, watching something, or playing something. It's
Okay.
I can't bring much fantasy into clothing or music. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I haven't really thought about that, but I never thought about it that way though. Like two different sides of fantasy, because majority of the stuff that I look at.
Oh no. What I said aren't like real categories, sides of it. It's just the way I
No, no,
personally
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
that's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
like
I've never seen it that way.
it's not a real like topic. It's not a real thing. It's
No,
just
yeah, yeah,
the way I personally view it. Even the way I'm describing it isn't 100% true. It's just my personal, like 100%.
yeah. Because for me, it's
Because
just
Adventure Time does have
fantasy.
Adventure Time does have fantasy creatures,
Yeah,
but like that's not what I like about it. I like the
yeah. How
magical,
they
the
approach
how
it
they
their
approach.
certain way.
It
Yeah.
makes it feel more like it's from their world. That's a better way to say it. The magic in Game of Thrones sometimes doesn't feel like it comes from the same world. Like you look at something like Daenerys,
Oh.
again, Daenerys and her dragons and Essos and all that kind of stuff feels so much different from the plot that was happening at the exact same time with the Five Kings. Because you'll have one side of the coin where they're scheming to try and get the throne, and all this scheming to get the throne involves a big donut of magic, right? Like no,
Mm.
there's no magic there. They're just fighting with swords and with espionage and that kind of stuff, right? And then you'll cut and it's John at the wall and he's trying to fight the undead zombies. Like it doesn't feel like it's from the same world. And that's not bad writing. Some people love that about Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this magic is invading their world sometimes, you know? And it gives the magic in Game of Thrones real power behind it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always so strong and it comes in and it disrupts these like we're fighting with swords and a fucking dragon flies over. What are we supposed to do?
Mm.
We just die. There's nothing we could do. But I personally don't like the way that's written. I personally prefer something like Adventure Time where the magic feels like
Okay.
it's part of the world. That's a
Yeah.
way better way to explain it than what I said earlier. I
Yeah.
was just sitting there stewing in my thoughts, like how do I explain that better? Because I didn't like the way I explained it.
Yeah.
That's the proper way.
That's how. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like I never thought too deeply into it because
Yeah.
again, to me, fantasy is fantasy because I was always so obsessed again with like aside from the curiosity, not aside from it, but it plays into it. The curiosity and like all that type of stuff kind of just kept feeding into like this greater notion of things being because for example like unattainable, right? Like when I first went to that Drake concert through I don't know if I mentioned this. I probably did mention this in one of the other episodes, but I sat there and I was like genuine like in my head I was like all these people
Okay.
are
I
here for
see
this
it.
one dude.
I see it.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm sitting here and it's like I'm a child and this is why I think it's so important, man. So important to give children like things to think
Back to it.
about
Back to it.
because
Yeah.
bro like I'm sitting here watching Adventure Time and it's like yo what the fuck how is Finn's arm grass? How does he have how is Leaf cutting steel?
And other shows don't even explain that. Other shows are just like, oh, it's a kids show. But Adventure Time would really sit you down and say Finn's arm was grass
That's what I'm
because
saying. And it kind of walked me through
and
everything.
there was symbolism behind Finn's grass arm, and it meant way more than just like the. Okay, this is actually so diabolical. I don't know if you remember the scene with Finn and LSP. You remember the scene
I think I know what you're talking about.
where he has he had the little flower on his stump.
Go on.
I don't even want to go on. You know what I mean, though, right?
I think I never saw it, but I don't remember what happened in the scene. Like I'm blanking what happened in the
I don't
scene.
want you. Let's. How about this? We're going to cut and we're going to let Derrick watch the scene because I want him to have some input on this one, okay? So we'll be right back. We'll let Derrick watch. Quick intermission in this episode. Just to let y'all know that Derrick and I would really appreciate it if you can go down, drop a like on this episode, also subscribe, hit the notification bell, and maybe go in the comments. Let us know what your favorite segment of the episode was. Give some input on any of our topics. You know, we'd also appreciate it if you would spread the word so more people can see the podcast and help me and Derrick out, you know? So, back to your regularly scheduled episode. And we're back.
Ugh.
Look at Derrick. There's a reason why Derrick is like that. I just gave him this 85% cocoa chocolate. He fucking hated it. Bitter as hell.
Fucking tar. He just gave me tar.
Now, I give him this for a reason. There's a reason behind this chocolate. And the reason is I want to introduce food challenges. Not this episode, but just in general. The idea of it, right? Oh yeah, you know we're cooked. We're deep fried.
No mayo de noche.
I want to introduce a quiz segment. I don't know if we might do it next episode, where I test you or you test me on a certain topic, or we get a third person to test us
Okay.
when it comes to art, and whoever fails has to do a food challenge. Eat a spicy chip, do something nasty, whatever. So stay tuned for that. I just wanted to say it on camera because I wanted y'all to
He
see
just
his face.
sprung me on this.
Yeah,
I'm hearing this is the same tall y'all are, bro.
This is on purpose. I didn't tell him. I want him to be shocked.
Like he walked in, chocolate, said try it. I tried it. I don't like dark chocolate by the way as it is.
I know. That's the point.
Comes in and he's like, I brought it in for a reason. Just
Just eat it. And then y'all saw his face, so be excited to see Derrick's
I
reactions.
still taste it. I still taste it.
Wait to see Derrick's reactions when he sees the nasty ass food and he has to eat it.
Fuck me,
Yep.
man.
So back to what we were saying. While we were gone, I was grabbing the chocolate. Derrick watched the LSP clip. So that was a very profound topic to tackle in a kids show. I want to point out the fact that his flower literally died after, so he got deflowered. Yeah, like literally.
I didn't even like.
You didn't register in your head the symbolism behind that. Poor Finn, man. So much stuff happens to Finn.
Oh fuck.
But
Man.
yeah, so that was a very profound scene that happened, and you watched that. You watched that as a kid, and you didn't even think about that. That wasn't even a thought. And now you watch the scene with no notions of what it could be, and you immediately thought it. You saw it, and you knew what was happening. You're like, oh my god. And as a kid, you had no idea. That brings me on to the topic of topics in shows that aren't for kids, in shows that are for kids. Because sometimes these topics they're there, and the kids won't really understand them. They're there for the adults in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And the adults will watch it while they're watching with their kids, and they're like, oh my god, this is kind of profound. So I love the idea of you sit down with your kid, you're watching a cartoon, and your kid is learning stuff, and you're also learning stuff. You're watching that show, and you're like, huh. Like, you could be a grown adult and get relationship advice from some of these shows. The way they teach you about relationships in the real world, you know?
Instead of, like you said earlier in the episode, shit just being to shut the kids up.
Exactly. So, while you and your kid you're in one room doing whatever, and the kid's in another room doing their own thing, now you could sit down, spend time with your kid, and both enjoy. You know, me and my dad watched Avatar: Last Airbender fully together,
Really?
start to end, and we both loved it. We also watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars together, fully, and I was a jit, and he was a grown ass man. And he still enjoyed both of those shows thoroughly because Clone Wars was literally a show about war and war tactics. Like you can do it if you watched it now.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it's like lightsaber go burr, Anakin cool as fuck, right? But as an adult, it's like the clones think their lives don't matter because they're clones, but they learn the importance of each other and their lives and their brotherhood, even though they're just clones. You know, like the show is really deep. Avatar: Last Airbender, also a very deep show, a great show, a show you can watch at any age and enjoy it. I think there's something beautiful in a show having certain things that just flies over the kid's head, but the adults in the room catch it, and it gives them a deeper understanding of the show. And even more beautiful is when you grow up and you go back to watch a show you watch your childhood and you find stuff that you didn't see.
It holds longevity.
It holds longevity and it lets you find a new facet. Do you feel like you found a new facet of Adventure Time now? Do you feel like there's
Yeah.
do you feel a deeper like
Connection.
to Finn? You're like you see him and you feel even worse for him now.
I feel like absolutely, but I think that is like that gets conjured over like a long time. Like I feel like
Exactly.
that's been happening since middle school. Cause like we started watching it. We were younger, and it's like at the beginning, like I was saying earlier, it's like okay, it started showing me these cool ideas and this and that, and it's like then by middle school, high school, it really ingrained in me because of the fantasy of it
I was about to
all.
slap your hand.
It taught me to think about and the opportunity that can come with having a grand idea, things being grandiose and large, and me being able to do things, and it's like that's where I've gotten to now from the general of watching Adventure Time. Whereas back in the day, it was just like, yo, I like this. Okay, I learned this, and it's like over time, which is I feel like that's the best way that it happens. It's like it's not just like you watch it when you're a kid, you don't watch it for 20 years, then you see what goes on. It's like I was watching it when I was in elementary school. I watched it in middle school. I was still watching it in high school, not like as like I did in middle and elementary, but it's like you stay connected
So
to it. You know what
you've
I mean?
actually rewatched Adventure Time?
No. So what I did, well,
Okay.
technically not the whole thing though. I watched it growing up, and then in middle school, I was like, yo, I love this show. So I kept watching it, and I was like, you're a little older, you're a little more attent,
Oh,
what the fuck is going on. And then in high school, I went back and I rewatched some of it, not the whole thing, but I rewatched some of it. Yeah, and
I
I'm never gonna forget
huh.
rewatching that first episode
I think
ever.
Adventure Time for me. Okay, so uh, disclaimer: I'm a weird guy. Who would have thought? Uh, I don't rewatch Adventure Time, but every few months I'll get in this phase where I'll watch YouTube essays on Adventure Time,
Really?
and they'll like explain to me like this. Okay, so there was an episode I watched growing up.
You
No,
know what? Sorry to cut you off. You know what happened
that's
to
such
me
a Tomas
recently?
ass thing.
But
Like,
you know what happened to me
yeah,
recently though?
yeah.
Bro,
What happened?
I know so fucking much about Elden Ring. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Similar thing happens to me with Elden Ring.
You know what
I'll go
you
back.
know what the funny thing is?
There's like a 7 hour video
Yeah.
of the lore, and there's a 13-hour video of the lore.
This is literally the spectrum of autism. Like Derrick has Elden Ring, where he'll watch his Elden Ring videos and that's whatever. Every 2 months, I have a new in-depth like world that I'm watching video essays on. Like I could start listing off. Uh, right now, it's Game of Thrones. Before at one point it was Adventure Time. At another point it was BoJack Horseman. I fucking love BoJack. Another point it was Breaking Bad. Another point before that it was Tyler the Creator. Like literally whatever my current interest is, I'm watching hour-long video essays explaining the deep,
Thing
like
is, I go
intricate.
like it has to get lined up because sometimes this is kind of off topic, but
Hmm,
I'll go time off with YouTube, like I won't
yeah,
watch YouTube for a while, and then I'll find something, and then if it just so happens that I'm in my YouTube phase again, which is happening right now with
yeah.
Expedition 33, it's just gonna happen all over
YouTube
again.
is a constant part of my life. Like I'm always watching in-depth video essays on whatever my current interest is at the time. When it was wrestling, watching hella wrestling videos, breaking down everything about wrestling. That's why I know a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way I see Adventure Time is, oh, I almost forgot what I was about to say. Very important. There was an episode I watched growing up. It's called Egress, or like the Cave of, oh, what's it called? It's about a dungeon,
Okay.
right? It's really bad that I don't know the name because the name is kind of the whole point of the episode. So can I see your
Okay.
phone so look it up?
Ugh. I was looking that up.
By the way, my phone is can't use it, so that's why I'm using
Yeah.
this.
Bro,
Um,
legendary.
Egress.
Legendary. What's legendary? You're legendary. This guy's not fucking legendary.
What?
He's a fucking lame. But we're all little weirdos at the end of the day.
Okay, so the episode's called The Hall of Egress, right?
Okay.
That
Let me
episode,
let me, let me get a look on the
that
cover.
episode growing up was just any other episode to me, right?
Okay.
And it's widely considered one of, if not the best Adventure Time episode of all time.
Okay.
Because when I watched it growing up, it was just Finn going into a dungeon, and there was some cool magic in the dungeon, whatever. You know, you watch the episode, and it's such a perfect case study of Finn's character and the world of Ooh. And it basically, the main idea of the episode was Finn goes into this dungeon and he can only leave the dungeon when he closes his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The second he tries to open his eyes, he goes back into, he like gets respawned back to the point where he was at when he was right in the dungeon.
Okay.
So like, and many times he tries to leave the dungeon, he'll leave with his eyes closed, right? And then he'll meet up with Jake, trying to open his eyes. He's back at the point where he was at the dungeon, right? And the episode starts with Princess Bubblegum telling him the definition of egress, right? And it's not the correct definition. It's because it has multiple definitions. I don't remember what Princess Bubblegum said and what the correct interpretation of the definition actually was, but it was mainly like this idea of Finn had to like let go to be able to actually leave the cave. There's this one scene where he leaves with his eyes closed and he lives like months outside of the cave with his eyes closed, right? And then eventually he opens his eyes and he goes back. So then he does this thing where he blindfolds himself.
Yeah.
They have a reference to this in Fiona and Cake, by the way. When him and Simon are in the forest, like older Finn and Simon are in the forest, and he like says, and he has his eyes closed too. This is because the Hall of Egress episode, where he goes through the cave, where he goes through the forest blindfolded, trying to Eventually, this episode ends with Finn discovering a lot about himself, and you watch this and just, oh, Magic Dungeon, cool. But when you're older, you're like, it's really deep about Finn's character.
Yeah.
And it holds a lot of good messages for the people. Also, while we're on topic of Fiona and Cake, spoiler alert, skip a little bit if you don't want to hear this. I saw the trailer about it.
A little bit.
I saw the trailer of season 2, right? You want to know what it's about? The trailer shows Finn's dying, and Simon and Huntress Wizard Huntress Witch or whatever have to save his life. Because the bear that cut remember how they were fighting the bear and he fell on the bush? That got infected. And now he's dying because the bush had like a very specific thing. So now Simon and Huntress Wizard have to go on a quest with Fiona and Cake to save Finn.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what I saw at least in the trailer.
R.I.P.
It looks
Finn.
really cool. No, because we already know when he dies. He dies of old age. Did you watch the Alright, we're done with spoilers. We're done with Fiona and Cake spoilers. Now it's Adventure Time. Back to Adventure Time. Did you watch the the episodes that came out after Adventure Time ended? Like explaining where some of the characters ended up after the finale?
If I did, I don't remember.
Basically, my favorite episode is the one with Finn and Jake, where Jake basically dies like kind of when Finn is kind of younger.
Okay.
And we find this out because in one of the scenes for a future character, like one of the characters in the episode, not in this episode, in that like miniseries, we see an older version of Finn, not old, but like older, like 40-something-year-old Finn, and he has a tattoo of Jake.
Oh, that's fire.
On his chest. Also, Finn and Cake, he also has a tattoo of Jake on his chest. And he says that he got that after Jake died. So Jake dies, and then Finn eventually dies of old age, right? Old as shit, like long gray beard, all that, right? And the first thing he does when he makes it to the dead world is he starts looking for Jake. Because, that's his boy. And they actually have a reference to an earlier episode where he's like doing the little claps. There's an episode where Jake is like in season 1, where Jake is like, if when we both die and we end up in the dead world, I'll be doing this. And that's how you know it's me. So Finn's going around doing that, trying to find Jake. And then he eventually finds out that he can't find Jake, ever. Because Jake ascended. Jake died at peace.
Yes.
So he went to the 8th layer of the dead world where you're enlightened at peace, and Finn didn't, so he can't reach that. Eventually they find out that death is actually controlled by the Lich. The Lich is like death, because Lich's hand from one of the earlier episodes from Farm World Dimension, the Lich hand fell into our world, or not our world, their world. And he was in Death's ear because he made Death's son kill Death to become Death. And then he was in his ear, telling him, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Eventually, they kill Death, and they kill the Lich.
I hate that. I hate the being in my... Ugh.
It's literally his hand.
Lich,
man. You know what it is? The Death's son who becomes Death, his hand is literally the Lich, and his hand does this sort of episode. It tells him what to do. It's like a snake hand. It's like a snake-like hand, and it's just in his ear telling him what to do.
Dude, see, Lich was ahead of his time for me, bro.
And the screen
Lich
was
is fucking horrifying.
It would be his face. Dude, he convinced him to kill his dad. And in the scene, he's like this. He's hugging him. And you literally see Lich in his ear yapping real fast, and he kills his dad. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
I can't, bro. I
So
can't.
the Lich in this episode, they defeat him, and then Finn gets to reincarnate, right? And Jake is like, I'm just gonna like go back to my world, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and Finn's like, oh, why are you coming back if you're like, you know, already you made it to enlightenment? And he's like, I already did enlightenment. I'm not coming back for anything in specific. I'm just coming back because it's fun being alive with my bro.
Yeah, with my boy. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah. I
like
seen that.
and that to me shows so much depth into a show that they didn't have to do. The show was over. They didn't have to make that. And the finale was beautiful. They did not have to do this. Yet they gave us this episode to really give us an end to Finn and Jake. Characters that, like I said, you grew up with, they grew up with you, and now you get to see their finale. The same way that a lot of people loved PB and Marceline, right? So they gave us an episode dedicated to them so you can get the finale to their characters. That's what I love about, this goes back to an earlier topic, good finales. Because bad finales leave you either upset or like the payoff, Star versus, the payoff wasn't worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this, they resolved like every problem in the show ever in one episode. It wasn't worth it. It was upsetting. Um, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
worst finale ever.
Bad endings never really bothered me much.
They bother me because of what I just said. You go so attached to these characters, and then just for nothing.
But it wasn't for nothing. For me, it's like, yo, the ending to
The
Adventure
journey.
Time could have been horrible, right? But at the end of the day, like, I sat there watching them go up that mountain. I sat them watching them like go try to find this book. I forget what it was called. The
Then Kyridian.
yeah, the
I'm
Enchiridion
not good with
and
my Adventure Time knowledge.
like
Yeah.
I remember that them doing the fucking the episode where they're learning magic. It's like that's never gonna go away from me. So it's like I don't know,
But
bad endings. An ending could be horrible.
when they
Am I
reach
gonna
the
say
top of
it's
the
bad?
mountain,
Sure.
when they reach the top of the mountain, and the top of the mountain sucks, you feel like you wasted the journey. The journey was a waste. The journey sucked. Like
Nah, not
that,
to me.
I hate when they say it's not the destination, it's the journey. Both matter. The destination
Nah,
matters.
see that's different though, bro.
They
Like
both
like in
matter.
real life, bro. Yeah, cool. The journey's cool, but am I getting rich? Like yes or like no? Like yeah, of
That's kind
course.
of how I feel about shows, though. Like when the destination sucks, it makes the journey. Imagine One Piece ended right now, and the One Piece fucking sucked.
I mean, yeah, that would be
You'd be
upsetting.
pissed. You'd be
I'm
like,
gonna be
what was the
pissed.
point of 20 years for this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it depends, right? Am I gonna be upset? Yeah, because this could have very easily just not been shit. But am I gonna hate the show, or is it gonna bring disdain to the other episodes and where I
No,
was
no, no,
sitting
no,
there?
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
like that's never
But
gonna
it'll
happen.
bring down the total quality of the show when I say,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Game of Thrones can't be the greatest show of all time. Because the
because
last
of the
three
ending.
seasons were the last 4 seasons were notable dip in quality, and the last two, like four, these two drop in quality. These last two are fucking abysmal.
Yeah,
Like I don't know what's like it's
I don't
shit.
know that's kind of how I see a lot of things. Like
And again,
Kanye is still an amazing artist. You know what I mean? Vultures, you can say whatever you want, but like what he already has,
Bully
what he's
might be
doing
good.
now,
Bully might be good.
what,
We're not like
what he's doing
why are
now,
you
like,
laughing? Bully might be good.
yeah, I mean, I
How do we
guess
know?
might, might not, probably won't.
What do you mean probably won't?
Hey, bro,
We don't know. We don't
we
know.
don't. But the thing is, right? That's never gonna take anything
Yeah.
away from graduation. You know, like
Obviously,
anything. You know what I
obviously.
mean? That's kind of how I look at it. I separate them.
I
Now,
don't
shows
see
it's a little more
careers.
difficult. Like if One Piece does come out and the One Piece, which he's already said it isn't, and it better fucking not be
Friends are made along the
friendship.
way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, It's immediately not, and that's a very particular example. It's already. It's not gonna be my favorite anime of all time.
Is it your favorite anime of all time?
Probably
Really? Over JoJo's?
over JoJo's. Yeah, probably is.
You're gonna get crucified by our friends for saying that.
It's okay. JJK is gonna probably end up being one of my goats if it goes through with being
Oh, the ending's
good.
bad.
Oh, then it probably
No
won't be.
spoilers.
I will say One Piece, JoJo's, and AOT are probably my three.
Are we gonna do that? Quick little. We're near the end, so quick little wrap up segment.
I think I thought we were gonna talk about anime a little more.
No, because anime wasn't really involved in. Not to expose you. Anime wasn't really involved in your childhood as much. You
No, I'm
started
not talking
watching
about
anime when you're
childhood, but
older.
I'm saying like evolution.
Let's let's
Anime
do
is gonna be another episode though,
let's
sure.
you know what? Let's save this anime topic for another episode. Let's stay on the childhood
But hold on, real quick. What's your Mount Rushmore?
of anime.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore and Top are so different.
Okay, just give me top two.
Top two,
Yeah, if you want three, sure, but just give me just your top.
top two,
Yeah, favorites.
JoJo's and Evangelion.
Okay. Ooh.
Those are
Okay.
my top two.
Okay. Dope.
Those are my top two.
All right.
But Mount Rushmore.
You don't have to do it. We can leave this for
Okay,
another
okay.
episode.
Let's leave this for another episode. Stay tuned. Mount Rushmore anime. If you have the wrong one, you have to eat a spicy one chip challenge.
A spicy onion.
Yeah, if you
What, man?
if you put Naruto, you have to eat a spicy onion. Don't hate on Naruto.
Boruto?
Don't hate on Boruto. I heard it got good.
Yeah, the fights.
I know. I heard it got good, like story.
Oh, okay.
Like story wise, I heard it got
okay.
good. Oh my god, the JJK sequel.
Misdirected hate.
Have you seen the JJK sequel?
No.
You know they're making a sequel series now, and it takes place like 70 years after JJK, and it's well, I don't want to spoil it. These two characters end up together.
That's okay. That's okay.
Alright, yeah.
What is it?
Okay. All you gotta know it's the grandkids of two characters from AO2.
Okay, dope.
But two characters are already in a relationship.
Okay, dope.
So like, is it really spoilers? You know they're together.
Nah, I don't. I'll ask you after.
You probably get it in one guess. If you get it in one guess, I'll tell you.
I don't even know who's together, but I'm blanking.
Two characters were together already. Like they had a whole thing dedicated to them being together. They had a whole like arc.
I'm blanked, bro. I'm blanked.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
All right.
But back to the childhood stuff, off anime. We'll save anime for a different episode. The way I'm gonna wrap up this topic because this topic went on a little long. We kind of side tangent off a
I
lot.
thought it was good, man.
I think
enjoyed it.
cartoons, children's books, children's movies, everything should not just be for children. You should try and make it as good as you can and put some stuff that could also appeal to the adults. But the bare minimum is it should always help children like learn about the world, learn about themselves, and it should be genuinely quality. I think kids deserve good quality, you know? And again, if you want, you can throw in some little things that might fly over their heads for the adults in the room. Because then if you make it quality enough, the adults will want to watch it with their kids. And then that's good bonding. You're creating, as an artist, you're helping people, you're helping families, you know what I mean?
Dying breed, by the way.
What?
Dying breed, by the way.
What?
Parents that watch shit with their kids.
I think it's good because of the cartoons now that are bad.
Yeah.
Allegedly, we don't know.
But they probably are.
Oh no! You can still, if you're a kid watching this, go put on some Avatar: Last Airbender with your dad, or with your mom, or with your caretaker. Watch some Adventure Time with them. You know, my parents like a month ago were talking, and I was scrolling on Instagram, and I got a regular show edit.
Okay.
And my dad was like, "You still watch that show with the bird?" And I was like, "Yeah.
Legendary.
100%. 100%. I still do."
Hey, hold on. To piggyback off that real quick, because I know we've mentioned it by like already so much, but like we're not just talking out of our asses. Like I tell my family, like my grandparents, like they know about Elden Ring and they know about cartoons that I like and all that shit. It's like go talk to them about stuff you like, man. I feel like that's another very very slight thing, but children, telling their parents about shit that they like. And their parents caring about
everything, man. Tell them everything about the shows you like, your hobbies. I sit down, I talk to my parents all the time about growing up especially, I like this cartoon. I told my dad the whole plot of Gravity Falls. You want to watch it with me?
Yeah, bro. Just like, and if it isn't your parents, just people you like, bro. Tomas, because keep in mind, guys, we have a group, our boys.
Yeah.
Tomas and I are some fucking weirdos. We're the only ones, well, not the only ones, but we're in the minority when it comes to like being weird about like weirdly obsessed over like all this shit.
I put most of y'all on to like a lot of the.
It's like, bro, this guy is like the pinnacle of it.
Of what? Of weirdness or putting people on?
Both.
I was talking to one of our boys, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I put people on too. I put Derrick." Like, no, he said Derrick puts. G. He was like, Derrick put me onto this. So you really didn't put. And I was like, who do you think put Derrick on? Who do you think put Derrick on? Like, I have what's it called? Like, put on Descendants. You know what I mean? Like, I put you on, you put someone else on. Those are my
The lineage,
descendants.
the
The
lineage.
lineage. Put on lineage. Oh
Yeah, man,
man.
go talk to him,
I
bro. I
talk
feel
to your
like
parents,
that's
your
something
family. You go.
something that is also again just to shut the kids up. Some of this shit is cool,
I
bro.
think
A
most of
lot
our
of this shit is
audience,
cool.
most of our audience would actually be adults though. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I
go
mean,
go sit down with your kids. Like if you don't like what they're watching, hey, Adventure Time, regular show,
yeah. Recommend.
Avatar:
Hey,
Last
hey, hey.
Airbender.
Leave y'all who got recommendations. Leave it down below.
Well, yo,
Put your kids on, man.
watch Cat in the Hat with your kids.
That's
The
what I'm saying.
the animated the animated show.
All of them.
Oh, ball knowledge. You want to watch something with your kids? Go watch The Grinch.
Facts, facts. A lot of the older, not even a lot of all
The
the
older
older shit that I
cartoons, like
watched, it
yeah,
was my parents love them. You know what I'm saying? Which I feel like is also fair to say. Context. My family is also a whole bunch of. My aunt is adores the Rugrats. She has a billion Rugrat shirts. Um, my grandpa has the what's his name? Yosemite Sam, the big ass mustache guy. Yeah, he has
Oh,
that. He has Marvin the Martian. My uncle
yeah.
has JoJo's stats. It's like my whole fam. My grandmother still watches ah
I don't know.
what's
Dude, that was a
the
good snap. That was loud.
bro? What's
The
the
mic might have
show?
picked that one up. What?
What's the show with the cavemen? I'm blanking so hard.
Primal?
I know no no no, I know what it's called in Spanish. It's a cartoon.
Oh, the Flintstones.
The Flintstones. Bro,
Oh, I thought you were
my
talking about like a
grandmother
newer.
still watches
Primal's a
that.
newer one. Primal's like really good.
My grandmother works at a university.
And she watches.
And she be watching Flintstones, man. And she watches like Blue Bloods and like all that shit. And then she goes and watches the Flintstones, man.
My parent.
My family has put me onto
I
all
found
that,
out
all
yesterday
that.
that my dad really loves Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh my god,
That's what I'm saying,
oh my
bro.
god. And we literally
It's like
sat down
these
and talked about it
relationships
for.
matter, man. We
Yeah.
sit here and we can talk about how we interpret it and how we kind of
Honestly,
because a lot of it is
hmm.
individual, right? My sister doesn't care about a lot of this shit. She doesn't care about art that much at all. It's
She don't
like
watch the pod. Oh
fucking
man.
teenager, right? Doesn't give a fuck. But it's like you went out of your way to check all this shit out. I went out of my way, but it's like and your situation is a little bit different from mine because my whole family likes this shit. So it's like
Hmm.
they would watch it there with me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That type of deal. So it's like if you got people around you that like that, like whatever you like, man, do not take that for granted,
Never,
bro. Because
never,
that's gonna shape you in ways you don't even realize
never take,
until
never
later,
take,
bro.
never take any relationships in your lives for granted.
Yeah, bro.
Art will always be a great way to connect with people. Especially in your childhood, art is such like we've been talking about all episode. Art is such a formative part of your childhood, and when your child is experiencing these formative, like learning what they really like, how to express themselves, you want to be there for them.
Yeah, you want to encourage it,
You
bro.
want
You
to
want to
encourage
you
it.
want to
When you
yeah,
see your kid
fucking
drawing,
champion it.
when you see your kid drawing, you want to be like, damn, that's a great drawing. Like put it up on the fridge. When you see
Yeah.
your kid talk about some like, I love this part of the show, when they're like, you want to pursue that. You want
Yeah,
them to.
exactly.
Because even if you grow up and you don't have nothing to do with the art world, like as a career, even as a personal thing, it's still a good thing to be involved in. As a
Yeah,
hobby, as like, you know.
hobby.
Oh, no.
Hey man, I've opened up the hobbies, man.
Opening
I
up
got hobbies. It's
hobbies?
funny. I was talking about this last week with my girl, bro, because I guess some of the hobbies that I got like collecting vinyl and shit, but it's like I be like a lot of people don't listen to like a ton of music,
Yeah,
and it's like I was sitting there, I was like, bro, I don't remember how it came up, but I was like, bro, listening to music is not like being deep into that shit. That's not a hobby, bro.
that is a hobby.
Never even occurred to me.
It is.
It's like I know because like we were
Most
talking
most people
specifically
aren't that deep into music as much as you are.
because we were talking
It's a
specifically
hobby.
like how like our music taste varies and
Yeah,
she's like yeah like you and rap and like hip hop and all this shit. And I was like that's not a hobby. And like I go home and like listen to this and I watch this and I learn about it and she's like yeah and I'm like is reading books a hobby and she's like yeah and I'm like because to me that's me just experiencing art.
that's a hobby though.
But it is a hobby,
Yeah.
I guess. I didn't know.
All right. I think this is a good place to wrap up though.
Yeah, man. Go
Honestly,
find yourself a hobby.
go go find yourself a hobby.
Listen, bro,
Um,
you gotta give me something, bro. I've grown.
you've grown. Okay,
I
go
don't
go find yourself a
I
hobby.
don't hate hobbies.
Derrick found himself a hobby. You can too. Uh, seriously though, everything aside, spend time with the kids.
And
Uh,
cartoons and art and
spend time with your
all
kids,
that.
and if let's just say you're a younger person watching this, and you're thinking about like making cartoons for kids or making any kind of content for kids, make it quality, man.
Yeah,
Kids deserve
bro.
better. Kids deserve better.
And I'll say this just as kind of like a something that is a gripe, so I kind of
Yeah.
just want to throw it out there. Don't think shit is outdated, man. My favorite, like, cartoonism and being a cartoonist in a lot of senses, especially when you look at things like Cuphead and like
It's like rubber hose,
Mickey,
like
yeah,
old
like all that
timey.
shit.
Yeah.
Yo, don't let none of that shit sway nothing. Me personally, that is my favorite,
You
like,
don't have to
cartoon
go
art
with the
style.
Cal art,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
newer
yeah.
like Cal art style that everyone
Yo,
uses.
whatever you
You
like,
don't gotta use
bro,
that. You can use rubber
rock that
hose.
shit.
Exactly.
Rock that shit. Whatever it
Exactly.
is, whatever the fuck it is, rock that shit, bro.
That's the message of every episode.
Unapologetically.
Unapologetically rock that shit. All right. We'll see y'all next Friday. Great episode today. We really appreciate the support that we've been getting in general. You know, uh,
5K channel views
as of
as of
October 28th, I think.
tw- 29th.
Check.
29th. 29th.
29.
225. 2025.
5,000 channel views. We appreciate the support, y'all. And yeah, honestly, do you have anything else to say?
As always, man, keep letting us know what y'all like, what y'all don't like. Please.
Yeah.
We've been in the works.
Drop it in the comments.
Yes.
We read every comment
Yes.
on every short,
Yes.
on every Instagram reel, on every episode. We read every single comment. So
Let us
please let
know
us know.
what y'all like, what y'all didn't like, what
We
y'all
will.
prefer,
Yeah. This
one way or another.
this pod is a work in progress. You know, every
Yes.
episode will get better. Every episode will try to improve.
Always thinking about stuff to make
Yeah,
anything.
we're
Yeah.
talking about maybe buying a better camera,
Yes.
mics. Like we really want to improve for y'all. So just let us know how we can improve for y'all.
Yes.
So
Appreciate y'all for
appreciate
that.
y'all, and we'll see y'all every single Friday.
See y'all Friday.
See y'all next Friday. Peace.
Peace.